How's it going, everyone, and welcome to another episode of No Excuses on BTWProductions.com and YouTube.com with your favorite show hosts, Still.
Fenurian.
And Volatil, and we're here to bring you the latest news and commentary on the video games industry for the week, along with other original content such as general faffing about and technical difficulties.
Yeah, today's been
Mostly the second
big
one.
Oh my, yes. It's been a big adventure in audio science, I guess, and, faffing around with OBS to try something a little bit different, because this is the start of the E3 season, and it is going to be a non-stop cavalcade of disappointment.
So
you say audio science, but it's more like audio, the equivalent of licking your finger and holding it up to see which direction the wind is blowing.
Or potentially banging on things with a hammer and hoping for the best.
Percussive maintenance.
There we go.
So yes, it's an experimental week this week. We're trying something different. This was y'all two's idea, so I'll let y'all explain it.
Well, first of all, before we get to that, if you'd like to get involved with the show, you can do so by sending us email at noexcusesvtw@gmail.com, or you can follow us on the Twitter at noexcusesvtw, or you can join us in our IRC chat, where you can chat with the show hosts live during the show or at any other time, and you can most easily access that by going to vtwproductions.com and by clicking on the No Excuses logo on any of our recent show posts. As a item of additional business associated with that, the VTW forums will be going into archive maintenance, basically, and will no longer be the main meeting place for fans of the show. The Show X people have got their own Reddit or subreddit or whatever those things are called set up over there, and you can get details from them. I'm sure you all have already got details from them. If you
I think they're still working things out, as far as I know.
It's from what I heard, it's up.
Oh, okay.
But, or at least I saw a tweet to that effect. But at any rate, that's what's happening. Those forums are shutting down. We, as if you've ever visited them, and you probably haven't, as you might know, we don't really use our board very much anymore. And the place to get things for us, as well as to contact us at any time, is Discord. It's the easiest way to get a hold of us.
Yes. All right. So, yeah, the main reason we are so late today is because we've been fiddling around trying to get OBS to behave itself so we can do what every self-respecting hack YouTuber does and talk over E3.
Yes, it's sort of like a rite of passage that we've been avoiding.
Yeah, and unfortunately, well, at least we got a nice, easy presser to start with. It's just nothing but complete and utter dreck the entire way through. So if you don't hear anything, you're not missing anything. So, unfortunately, there's no game on the stream because I'm going to be playing trailers all over the place today. So we will see. We've got a whole bunch of pre-E3 stuff, and we've got the EA presser.
So on the upside, we've got stuff to talk about. On the downside, everything's liable to explode.
Oh, yeah. So this is going to be an interesting experiment. It's worth noting, I can't actually hear the presser at the moment because of the way OBS does audio monitoring. I can either hear it, and you guys get horrendous echo, or not hear it, and save myself hearing Andrew Wilson faff on about whatever he does faff on about. Ugh. Which is actually fine. I've watched the presser already, so I know roughly what's said.
Is he Australian? Is that what his accent is?
If he is, we don't claim him.
I can't quite place his accent, but it sounds more Australian than something else.
I don't know, actually. We'll have to ask the internet. Let me see. Yeah, he is Australian. No, we don't claim him. He is now a New Zealander.
You claim anybody that we have who is remotely famous.
Incidentally, you can have Russell Crowe.
You didn't. You wanted to take Russell Crowe not too long ago.
That was only because Gladiator was good. Everything else he's released has been rubbish. Yeah, this is a thing Australians do. We tend to claim celebrities. Because, hey, we didn't have enough ways to troll the rest of the world. Also spiders.
Right.
So, what should we do first? Should we talk about some of this pre-E3 stuff? Or should we just dive straight into EA and see what horribleness awaits us?
Right, did we check our email box? I don't even remember.
Yeah, I did. There's
Yeah.
nothing there.
Nothing there today.
Right. Thanks for nothing, guys.
I know, right? So yeah, there's been a whole bunch of stuff released in the lead up to EA. Like Nintendo's been releasing stuff since about mid-April because why not? Sony's doing this kind of one-a-day trailer thing, and all these other companies are just throwing out, whatever, and catching the wave.
Yeah, well, I think we can zoom through the pre-E3 trailers because we don't know what or when or how they're going to get talked about, and it's not like Nintendo actually does an E3 thing anyway.
No, they tend to run a Nintendo Direct and call it good. Alright, let me find that list. We have so much stuff in our show, live chat at the moment, or our host chat, it's impossible to find anything. Oh boy. There we go. Okay, so I'll just do these in the list we've got. So we've got Nintendo stuff up first. First game on the list is one actually Ari talked about last week, which was Bloodstained Curse of the Moon.
Yes, the NES thing.
Yes.
So that's been out for a while on PC. But I think it's console. It's at least one of the consoles was behind the PC release. I don't know if it was all the consoles.
Yeah, I can't remember which console it was on, but this is actually a fairly common thing with the Nintendo stuff as well. They've done a whole bunch of releases in the last couple of weeks supposed to catch on to the hype train.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's good. It looks like, classic old school Castlevania-ish stuff.
I'm lagging like a boss, but yes, and the Switch version actually, the second it came out, like 53% of the total game sales across all platforms is on the Switch.
Wow.
Nuts.
It's actually been a phenomenon which is mostly silent if you don't look at sales figures, but the Switch has been doing gangbusters.
It has.
Like, I don't know who the actual audience is, though. Like, who are the people that are doing this? I don't know anybody who has one other than Ari, and as far as I'm aware, Ari doesn't use his.
Yeah. I want one.
I haven't used it in like 3 or 4 months.
Yeah. I'll get one eventually. Whoops, I accidentally restarted the video. I did not mean to do that. Never mind. So, yeah. This one looks pretty good if you just want some old school Castlevania.
Yeah, it's good. I haven't had time to sit down and play through the whole thing yet, but for the 2 or 3 levels I've played through, it's really good.
Yeah, which is actually fine, because as far as I know, the last couple of Castlevania games haven't been very good.
Well, there haven't been the last couple Castlevania games. They just don't make them anymore.
No, they don't. They don't.
That's why the Kickstarter was a thing.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't played them, though. The only one, I played like 5 minutes on an emulator of the Nintendo 64 one, and it was appalling.
Yeah, oh no.
Yeah. Yeah. See, that is why nobody makes Castlevania games anymore, is that game. Boy.
You play the classic NES ones that are 2D platformers, or you play the like Metroid style ones from the PlayStation onwards that are all 2D. Don't play any 3D Metroid or Castlevanias. They're all terrible.
They're all rubbish. 3D Metroid was great up until Other M. Actually, that's really what I hope Nintendo does this E3, is actually talks about Metroid Prime 4.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
We need a new Metroid game, and not Federation Force.
I find Federation Force to be really entertaining. Just the sheer rage that it inspired. It's a sight to behold.
Just the gall to release that game without a mainline Metroid game to go with it. Just
It was very much so equivalent to the Dino disaster. Like, that was terrible.
Yeah, it was really bad. Like, after the disappointment of Other M as well. Ugh. Anyway, moving on. Next game it's Captain Toad, because everyone loves Captain Toad because reasons.
Does anybody like Toad, like, as a character? Is that a thing?
No. Nobody likes Toad. At all.
Not that I'm aware of.
I looked at this trailer, and well, it looks very Nintendo. That's basically the only way I found to describe it, because I did think about it. It's like, now I don't care about this game, right?
Yeah.
So I was trying to look at it through the eyes of a person who cares, which was not easy. But like, I can sort of see the charm, kind of.
Yeah.
Like, I see what they're doing. I see what they're going for. If it doesn't, even though it doesn't have any purchase with me, I can see how it's sort of kind of cute at least. And the game concept, if it's executed tightly, looks like it could be solid, but it doesn't really seem like it's the sort of thing that has any. It doesn't look like the sort of game that it has any real mileage can be gotten out of it for a person who is focused on sitting down and really playing a game. It's like, I'm not saying that it's like a Yoshi game in terms of being super, super easy, but it's certainly like, it's a very simple concept that could be executed well and would have a lot of mileage, particularly for casual players, younger players. I think the impression that I've got from a lot of this particular stable of Nintendo games that have been coming out since the Wii is that they're good games for parents to play with their children. That's the impression that I get from them anyway.
Yeah. So I played the Captain Toad bits on Mario 3D World when that first happened. That's where these games kind of originated. And I always found those puzzles very cute and very clever. I believe this is the second Captain Toad game, this Switch one. A previous one being on the 3DS.
Yeah, they strike me as sort of like good brain training type puzzles. Because it's all about spatial movement and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like rotating things and whatnot. So the thing is, it does strike me as more of a puzzle than a game. Like, you're not going to get, longevity and plot development out of it.
No.
But yeah.
But nobody wants to story about Toad anyway.
I realised when I was watching it that it had been a situation where I had sort of automatically dismissed it without good reason. I dismissed it because, well, it's a Nintendo game, and I realised actually I've not been thinking about these games very much at all because I just don't understand them because they're not for me. It does seem like it's something that people could play, but I don't think that it'll take off simply because Toad doesn't have much weight as a character.
Yeah. Speaking of games you don't understand, by the way, I'm just going to segue through these as quick as we can, really.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention that because I had came to that realization when watching these trailers that I didn't care about Nintendo games and therefore hadn't been putting in any effort to actually analyze them.
Sure. So a game at its most Nintendo-iest, Dylan's Dead Heat Breakers just came out.
Is that Nintendo-ing?
Well, it's sticking Mii's in places they don't belong. That sounds like Nintendo-ing to me.
Yeah, it sounds like that one department of Nintendo that is obsessed with trying to get Mii's to be a thing.
Yeah. So
the department that's never made any money.
So it's a game series that I've kind of wanted to play in the past, but never really got around to, where it's been, part Sonic, part action RPG, part tower defense thing. But it seems like they've axed the tower defense part in favor of Mii's. Why?
Me.
And sorting trash.
And sorting trash.
I'm not even kidding.
No, I know, that's actually a mini game in this thing.
Yeah, you sort trash.
Yeah.
And you work the register at a convenience store.
This is filler.
Like the sort of thing that people don't do this for entertainment. You know that, right, Nintendo?
Yeah.
It's not entertainment.
That's filler. We don't want filler, but
it's not merely filler. It's filler by doing, everyday life things.
Yeah. So yeah, the world seems interesting. Like, it's sort of this post-apocalyptic thing where rock monsters are trying to destroy the world, and you've got an armadillo who can roll real fast and has guns attached to him when he does it. But then
I cringed. I really cringed.
Yeah,
it's like he's like a crummy version of Sonic.
Yeah. He also has a dumb name, but the Mii's they look horrible.
I would take the Sonic that eats chili dogs over over this guy.
That's pretty much
They-
every Sonic since Sonic AM now, I think. That's canonic.
Is it?
Yeah.
No.
He was doing it in
remember
Sonic
from the
Boom.
cartoon. There was a cartoon version of him that was just obsessed with chili dogs and wouldn't stop talking about them ever.
Yeah, that was Sonic AM. Sonic AM was strange. Very strange. So, yeah, so this is a game. Yeah, that's all I can really say about it. One of these, I will try this series one day. Probably not with this entry. I might go for one of the older ones because that's where the series started. And honestly, I've always got a soft spot for a well done tower defense. All right, moving on is speaking along the same vein. Sleep Tight. It's also tower defense.
It's just tower defense, as far as I can tell.
Yeah, tower defense with
Like,
pillow
it's-
forts.
It's like a Monsters Inc. setting, basically, except the monsters are not nice.
Yeah,
But yeah, it just doesn't seem to me like it's anything more than tower defense. Like it's totally paint by numbers.
mm-hmm.
Like they spun a good line about it being, you know, full of customization or whatever. But
Well, a lot of tower
Yeah, I
defenses
don't-
have that.
I don't think that what they're doing is anything remarkable at all.
Yeah.
It's
I
It's-
forgot this game was a thing.
pretty uninspired, to be honest. Like they've got a nice concept, but there are much more interesting things you could do with it than tower defense. Like as far as I'm concerned, tower defense is the lowest common denominator genre. Like
Mm.
the only way that it could be worse is if it was a 8-bit platformer.
It's a genre that's had its roots in Warcraft 3. You know, another one. The other being MOBAs.
Was
So-
it in Warcraft 3? I remember playing lots of tower defense in StarCraft.
The original StarCraft? It may have been
Yeah.
the original StarCraft now I think of it.
Except that everybody used the lights out glitch. So that you could stack photon cannons on top of each other.
Right.
Remember?
Yeah, I remember. So, okay, well, decent tower defense that weren't... No, hang on, no, that's not right either, because they were buggy as all get out in Warcraft 3 as well. Never
I
mind.
think they were more buggy in Warcraft because the rules were more complicated for how placements and things worked.
Yeah,
There's certainly Warcraft saw a lot of refinement to the genre, but in the end, it's still tower defense, and tower defense really hasn't changed that much. Like, as far as I'm concerned, in order to call yourself, you know, tower defense plus, you need to be at least, you know, like dungeon defenders level.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, you've got to
You mean pay to
sell
win?
your tower defense.
Well, I don't mean that.
but
Like,
like,
they
have
had
to,
other things than just you make the tower and the tower shoots.
Yeah,
like, we have to get above flash game tier. I mean, we played tower defense in like our high schools.
Yeah.
We could get on the computer and go to the early flash game sites, and most tower
Newgrounds.
defense, yeah, like Newgrounds and stuff. Like you have to get your tower defense above that tier before you are a real game that's worth looking at.
yeah. So,
Otherwise,
I don't
we'll
know.
just go to Newgrounds and play that instead.
This game, it at least has heroes. It's tower defense with a hero, but like we've seen that before too. There's no mazing. That's a good chunk of the strategy for tower defense.
That's
It's
actually
mazing.
the thing that I thought was strangest about it, was that you're supposed to be thinking about the path that you want the enemies to take, right? But as far as I can tell, this is just like camping, basically.
Oh dear.
But anyway, before we get too bogged down in this, it's basically, I think the only reason that people like this is because they're going for a Pixar look. Period. End.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
It's a purely aesthetic conceit that people like it. And when I say people, I mean game critics that we don't respect because they're game critics.
Next game in the list is probably one of the big ones. It's Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. Which
This looks like a merchandising event extravaganza.
from what I can tell from looking at this game, it's like they've put together, you know, Generation 1 again in a new engine, say, hey, proof of concept. And Nintendo says, we can sell this. We can also tack on a whole bunch of extra crap and sell that as well.
Yeah, and not only that, but we can sell it twice.
Yes.
Like with every Pokemon game, a minimum of twice.
Yes.
Sometimes 3 or 4 times.
So the base game is it looks like Pokemon. It's just standard fair Pokemon, which is good. But, and we'll see when the trailer gets up to it. First and foremost, they've got integration with Pokemon Go, which is something they promised for Pokemon Go years ago.
Oh man, has it really been years?
Yes. Year and a half.
No.
Year and
It
a half.
seems like the other day.
Yeah. No, it has not. Time is stupid like that. It does not stop. So
No, like, it was just like last week. Pokemon Go came out and I was yelling Pikachu's to everybody and having fun talking to people. This was not years ago, Fern. You're lying to me.
So, yeah. You can hook up to Pokemon Go. You can import your Pokemon across. That's the thing. Presumably, you can get Pokemon that normally can't learn certain abilities that way. Because, yeah, the abilities and moves that Pokemon Go learn are not related. Here we are. The Pokeball controller. This thing.
It's just one of those things that clips to the side of the whatchamacallit, right? It's just of the Switch. It's just a cut down version, right? That's all it is, right?
And shaped like a Pokeball, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
So
And you're apparently supposed to put a Pokemon in it and take it for walks.
yes, so you put it down and you shake it and wiggle it and it makes noises.
Like, I would have absolutely lost it over how cool this was when I was like 10.
Yeah. 10-year-old me would be screaming about this right now.
Like, there would be nothing cooler on the planet.
Yes. Adult me, however, is dead inside.
Yeah, but more importantly, I actually don't know if kids like Pokemon or not.
Yeah, there's kids who like Pokemon.
Yeah, it
But
seems that way anyway, but I don't know. I only know a few kids.
yeah, admittedly though, and especially from my experiences as PAX, there is a massive adult following for Pokemon. Because we've grown up with it.
That's the thing. That's the thing, though. How long will that demographic last? Like, does it have an expiry date on it? Will these people love Pokemon all their lives, or are they going to have to grow up at some point? And additionally, like, do these people, are they into Pokemon because they want to build the best team that wrecks others at competition, or are they actually the sort of people that will carry their Pokeball with Pikachu in it around town?
Oh, you get all sorts. So both are true.
Well,
So,
the question
I
is
don't know.
which one has more money?
I generally see more the casual type around. I don't see many like big time people that are really competitive into any kind of Pikaman. It's only people that are just like, oh, Eevee's cute, I like Eevee. Boy,
Yep.
girl, doesn't matter.
Those
This
people
is
are the ones
only
who
demographic I run into.
those are the people who are more likely to buy merch. And merch is a lot of money. Pokemon merch is a big industry.
Yeah, well, Pokemon merch is a bigger industry than any video game could ever hope to be. Like, that's really the thing, and it's hard to see a lot of the time. Like, and you know, it's like I was saying the other day when I was whinging about how they released another super pimp trailer for Fate Grand Order for Gudetama 3.
Can we give us our Fate Grand Order anime already?
It just looks like a super awesome anime.
It does.
Except it's not. It's an ad for a mobile game. And I said, well, just make it. You can make anything and people will buy the merch.
If you just slap the
that's
Fate
what
label on it.
If you have a long-running franchise, nothing you do in that franchise matters more than the merch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, unless your franchise is something unbelievably banal like Call of Duty.
I probably should have pulled down that FGO trailer. I knew we were going to talk about it at some point. But anyway.
It's like 30 seconds of cruel teasing.
Yes.
But yeah,
but it is eye candy.
Yeah, merch is what really matters, and this is a merch engine. Like this is a way of like basically IV dripping Pokemon fanaticism back into the veins of all the people who can afford the merch.
Yeah.
And that's really what these games do, in my opinion, is that they keep the hysteria for Pokemon high.
Mm-hmm.
It's not actually about being a good game or adding anything or developing the franchise. It's about keeping people interested.
Yeah. So aside from the graphics, this isn't... the gameplay itself doesn't seem like anything new, it's fine. Like, it's base Pokemon gameplay. That's fine. It's not Generation 8, which is what I think a lot of people were really hoping for. But it is, I suppose, just a test to make sure the engine works. At least that's where it started, anyway.
Yeah, I don't know. The thing, the overwhelming impression I got was that this game is a mishmash tech demo.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't have that sense of cohesion that an actual game does.
Mm-hmm.
You can't look at two aspects of it and see that this is the same game, and they're selling that as an advantage, and they might be successful at doing so as well.
All right, what's the next game? It is... Oh dear, it's not actually a game. It's DLC. It's Mario and Rabbids. You can play as Donkey Kong now.
You know, as much as I detest Rabbids, I think that I'm sort of getting, like... I love to hate them so much that I'd be sad if they went away.
Yeah.
Like, I've got this sort of twisted, sadistic hatred of them that is sort of like, you know, it's just across the line from loving them.
Yeah. It's not like Minions, which
I've
are
been
just
convinced.
completely just detestable. Ugh.
Oh, internet, I love you. Hang on, I'm gonna fix this. This is getting really bad. I'll be
dear.
right back, folks.
So yeah, this DLC, it's more Mario and Rabbids. You get a bunch of new characters, and for some reason, Peach Rabbit is there again, and a new story, new campaign. That sounds
the Peach
fine to
Rabbit.
me.
The Peach Rabbit. I actually, amongst Rabbids, I find the Peach Rabbit to be almost funny.
Everybody else
because of
does as well.
The sheer conceptual difference between a rabbit and Peach.
Yeah.
Like that's why that's because that's like humor 101, right? Is doing something which is out of character is humor 101. It's why, you know, a person in a tuxedo slips on a banana peel. That's funnier than a person in civvies slipping on a banana peel, because the tuxedo person is supposed to be more dignified.
Yes.
But, so making a rabbit dress up like Princess Peach is sort of like elementally funny, whether you like it or not.
Peach is, aside from the game where Princess Peach went through menopause. No, I am not making that up.
How old is she now? Good grief.
I don't know. It should be getting on a bit, although, you know, this is Nintendo and nobody ages. They've been doing the same thing for about 35 years now.
She never had any kids. She's a failure as a princess.
She did not propagate the royal line. But then again, she's not going to die either, so I don't know. It's a kind of a moot point.
All right.
But,
I'm back.
Okay, Pickle?
Pickle.
Okay, that seems to be working.
Yes. I kicked it in the butt. It should be okay.
So, yeah.
At least a little bit.
So, yeah. I do like Princess Peach Rabbit. It's like prim and proper Princess Peach. Ooh, alliteration. But then on the other side, you've got this narcissistic millennial rabbit.
like if Princess Peach was a chav.
Yeah. All right. Next is yes, the Tears of Salt is Mega Man 11.
I was delighted about this for
all the wrong reasons.
For all the wrong reasons, yeah, pretty much. Like I thought it was particularly hilarious because the whole reason that Mighty Number 9 exists is because Mega Man 11 doesn't.
I thought it was because there is no
Mega Man
God.
11 does.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's basically the whole debacle that was Mega Man. It was the Mega Man aping Mighty Number 9, and when I say aping, I mean, you know, with all the proficiency of an ape too.
Yes.
That whole thing is redundant now. It might as well have not existed. And all the people who spend a huge amount of money getting ripped off for that thing, yeah, they wasted their money.
Yep.
And I don't know why I'm happy about that. That sort of schadenfreude is unseemly, but it was such a horrible project, and the people that backed it were a lot of the people backing it were horrible. I don't mean all the backers in terms of the crowdfunding, but I mean the people who were involved in making the idea a reality. A lot of them were very nasty people, and a lot of them were, you know, straight up profiteers and that sort of thing. I'm sure there are real, you know, people who had a real dyed-in-the-wool love for Mega Man in there as well, but yeah, there was a lot of nasty stuff followed that project around.
Oh my, yes.
Happy to see it crash entirely. It didn't crash entirely, but it is now.
It probably would have been better if it did. Yeah. So as far as Mega Man 11 goes, it looks like, you know, classic old school Mega Man, except with a time slowing mechanic now.
But there's one thing you got to remember.
Oh.
Capcom.
Capcom.
It is Capcom. Like sometimes they do a whole bunch of stuff right, and sometimes,
they don't. So, I think they get a lot more flack if they really screwed up Mega Man. Like at this point, it's expected for them to screw up their fighting games. That's just what Capcom does.
Yeah, hence why, if we just jump ahead just a tiny bit, rather than trying to release another fighting game, they're just releasing Street Fighter again.
Yeah, hang on, I've got that. Let me just flick over to that. Where are we? Street Fighter.
Throw you out of order.
That's okay. It's not too far out of order. So, yeah, Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Edition. It's not just one Street Fighter, it's a whole bunch of them. On the Switch.
Yep.
Oh, what all is in this
all
thing?
it is. It's just yet another repackaging of all the classic Street Fighters.
Yep, except with, modern, and I use the term loosely, matchmaking.
Because, they're bragging about their online matchmaking system and their online lobbies and stuff. Like, are those even good? Is like the Street
this is
Fighter
your department, Ari.
Even good?
So the last time I bought Street Fighter 2 was back in like 2006.
How many times have you bought it?
No, I only bought it twice. I bought it on the SNES and I bought it on the 360. But the lobbies for the 20th anniversary were awful.
Oh boy!
Like that was in the era of old original Marvel vs. Capcom matchmaking, Marvel vs. Capcom 3 matchmaking, which is legendarily terrible. And it was not any better. And Capcom's gotten better with their lobbies, but they're nowhere close to what any of the other people doing fighting games have right now.
Just do what Atlas does, copy them.
But yeah.
Axis, yes.
Even Netherworld has a better matchmaking system than these guys. I can at least get a match in Injustice, even though I hate the game.
Are they like the Mortal Kombat guys?
Yeah. Like, I can at least...
Do they do Injustice as well?
Yes, they did.
Yes, I did.
But yeah, even though I hate Injustice, I could at least get a match in that. It took, even when there's people online, it takes me forever to find a match in a Capcom game. Even Street Fighter V.
Yeah.
Darkstalkers.
Nobody plays Darkstalkers, unfortunately. People really should play Darkstalkers.
Yeah, even that took a while. And although that was only active for like 4 days before people stopped playing it. And they're like, oh, nobody bought the game. That's clearly the barometer for deciding whether we make Darkstalkers 4.
It's because I didn't promote it.
It's such a dumb idea, Capcom.
Just Capcom.
Anyway, without getting too far off track, since we've got a lot of stuff to cover today, basically that's one of Capcom's offerings in the pre-E3 lead-up is they're advertising Street Fighter 2 again as if people are going to get excited about that.
Yeah. Well, it's not just Street Fighter 2, it's Second Impact and Third Strike, boy.
I'm using that as a sort of an emblematic thing of what they're doing. Like, I'm not saying that's the only thing there. I'm saying that they're taking ancient content and they are advertising it as though that's going to get people fired up to buy Capcom products.
It's also worth noting that when you say Street Fighter 2, you could mean any of maybe 15 games.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's useful handle for the franchise in that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you pick up, one noodle and half the bowl comes with it.
Yes.
All this is bait for streamers like Max and their fanboys that lick up everything they play. That's all it is.
I would have thought that by now Max would be a bit more jaded.
You'd think so.
Like, because of what happened over the whole MVCI debacle, like, that went badly for him, like, personally.
That went badly for everyone involved.
Yeah, he's getting there. He's getting more cynical.
Welcome to the dark side, Max.
Especially towards Capcom. All he plays is Dragon Ball FighterZ now. All the Capcom games suck.
That's because Dragon Ball FighterZ is good.
Anyway, let's probably move on to the next
game. Next game is very strange. It's Muddle Dash.
Well, we don't know if it's really strange.
It looks like...
Because the trailer didn't show anything.
Just going by what is on the trailer here, it's like a racing platformer game with cephalopods?
Yeah, basically the trailer is it looks like Squiddle's the game, except that the only thing that the trailer does is people talk about how much they like it instead of actually showing anything.
Okay, that's it. It is Squiddle's the game now. That's what we're going to call it.
Yeah,
Unfortunately,
this
that
is
trailer
one-
is unbelievably short, so that's all we know about it. It's Squiddles the game.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think Nintendo has the market cornered on comic squids right now.
They do. Like, Splatoon is kind of it. But if you look in the background of this trailer, you'll see a much better game. Cross-tag battle. So,
Yeah, that was actually the first thing that I noticed as well.
yeah.
It's not like there was anything to see from the game in question, so...
Holy crap, that guy looks like my brother. That's worrying. So anyway. Yeah, we've seen 3D platform races in the past. None have been really good since Uni Rally on the SNES. And nobody played
If
Uni
indeed
Rally.
that is what's going on.
What's that?
If indeed that is what's going on.
Yeah, that could be what's going
don't-
on.
We don't
Maybe?
have a clue if that's what's actually going on.
It's confusion. It's nothing but confusion.
There's nothing to talk about here. We don't know what it is.
Let's move on.
Let's moving on. Okay, here's something you've got nice and salty about. We haven't had that for a whole minute and a half. How about some Paladins?
Salt so much as indignation. Like,
Yeah.
Paladins. What
Paladins.
a crappy property. What just a steaming pile of garbage.
Nobody plays Paladins because Overwatch is a thing. Like, even
How did
though...
they even manage to afford to port it?
I don't know. Paladins, as
It
far
was
as I
done-
remember, predates Overwatch.
I guess that like Overwatch isn't on the Switch is what they're going for.
I guess. In which case, more power to them. Need a class shooter on the Switch, I guess.
No, we don't need a class shooter anywhere. Thanks so very much.
No, we do
But
not.
yeah, like part of me, but for the sake of the people who need to get paid, because Ari at least knows what it's like when payroll doesn't happen.
Yes, I do.
Like, for the sake of the people that need to get paid, I hope that they manage to find a niche for their game. But I don't think that their game does anything useful for the gaming industry. Period.
Meh. Yeah, I just can't care. Like, it's a hero
There's
shooter.
no reason to care.
There's no reason to care. There's just nothing here that really interests me. Like, I've seen Overwatch, I've seen Paladins. They look more or less the same. Moving on.
Yeah.
Next, we've
Sushi
already done
Striker.
Street Fighter Sushi Striker. Yes,
I didn't know what it was.
it looks very
it was
Japanese.
loud. It was loud and bombastic, and I had no idea what was going on.
Yeah, I don't know. It's some sort of shooter. No, not shooter. Puzzle. No, not puzzle. Match 3. No.
Well, it sort of gives that impression, though, right? That it's something like one of those. Except
Yeah.
I'm not really sure how it applies, but basically, it seems like you basically make pick sushi combos off conveyor belt sushi and use that to defeat the opponent.
By throwing the empty plates at them or something. Yeah,
Something like that. I don't know.
I don't know.
It's very strange, but it's probably just going to go the way of all of the other match 3 stuff. Like, it will either take off and be one of those phenomenon ones, or it will just disappear and nobody will remember it.
Yeah.
Just seems like a strange thing to do to try and get attention for those sorts of things, because they seem to grow more or less organically.
Yeah.
But
So
I'm just
either
trying
way,
to jumpstart it.
it's bright, it's colourful, it's Nintendo, I guess. And it has anime cutscenes. For reasons.
Yeah, because obviously
Reasons.
Because
that's where the
reasons.
budget went. If you've got a decent budget and you're making a match 3, you don't need to spend it on making the game.
No, you spend it on anime. Okay, let's move on to something that's good. Titan Quest on the Switch.
Titan Quest.
Yeah,
They're sort of at the point where I'm actually really impressed at how far they have managed to stretch what was originally a doomed project.
Yeah, like, Titan Quest should not exist.
Yeah, like everything went wrong for them. Everything. It was a catastrophe.
And yet they somehow managed to get it out, good grief, how long ago now? But, yeah, and it was a huge success. It's still an extremely fun action RPG to play. There's very few there's no actual other game like it, except for Grim Dawn.
I would rather play it than Diablo 3.
Yes. I would actually
Well, that's
rather
not
play it
saying
to completion instead of, getting halfway through a character and then decide trying out a new build. But that's me.
Yeah. I need to beat that game one of these days.
It is worth noting, however, that the Switch version does not include Ragnarok. So, no rune crafting and no Valhalla.
Yeah, but I've never gotten anywhere near that part of the game, so
Yeah.
I'm not terribly concerned.
Not overly worried. They'll probably release that as DLC later on, which is fine. I can't begrudge them that.
But, like, I sort of would like to see it. Would like to see it be successful. Like, I don't know to what extent the Switch audience is also the Titan Quest audience. Like, it seems like an odd fit. But if they've got like strong infrastructure for ad hoc multiplayer or something like that, it seems like it could be cool.
Sure. Alrighty.
Yeah, you can make it work.
Next is... Where's my list? There it is. It's Wolfenstein 2. The new Colossus.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter what system you put on it, it's still going to be a purient pile of garbage. Propaganda.
The Nazis
Like, I'm
weren't all
sorry,
that bad.
it doesn't matter how many Nazis you let me kill. You're not going to convince me that communism is good because it killed, roughly 20 times as many people.
So yeah, Wolfenstein. Remember, it was just about killing Hitler or killing robot Hitler.
Yeah, well, sometimes zombies.
Sometimes zombie
Nazi
Hitler.
zombies.
Yeah,
Like, there were lots of, but like, I mean, I don't want my bombastic space Nazi shooter to be trying to teach me a message.
yeah. Don't do that.
Because, yeah, that's not only is that dumb and not what you're paying for, but your message is probably dumb because everybody who makes video games is practically in a monoculture. They all think the same way and regurgitate the same garbage. And yeah, I don't want it. I'm not interested. I'm just not. Wolfenstein was cool until you guys made it stop being cool. So stop making things cool.
But Volocel, communism and socialism are the only way to think. You can't have a different political opinion or you get thrown out of wherever you work.
On a very, very random tangent, by the way, DC Comics, stop ruining everything. Thank you.
Yes, DC Comics have employed one Zoe Quinn. There is a rumor going around that there was a high-profile firing at DC, and that the reason they hired Zoe Quinn was to create a media storm that would cover it up.
Oh, sneaky. So instead, they promised to release really, really awful comics.
Yeah, but they've got sort of a standard practice in the industry, from what I can tell, for releasing these things now, in that they release them as mini-series of 6 issues.
Mm-hmm.
And although they don't say outright that it's a mini-series, but they, after the fact, will retroactively define them as a mini-series, so it doesn't look like they're cancelling them. So they can give somebody what looks like a lucrative contract for an ongoing series, but actually just shutter it after half a dozen issues.
Make them go away.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey,
Which is pretty much what's happened to, fully 75% of the, feminist-focused reboots. Because, nobody buys them. And they know at this point that nobody's going to buy them. But they keep doing it for the sake of signaling.
Yeah. Anyway, let's not get bogged on that. Next game, Yoku's Island Express.
What is Yoku?
I don't know. I think he's supposed to be a beetle? Is it pterodactyl Yoku? I don't know.
No,
dung beetle?
I think that it's a bug.
Yeah, he's a dung beetle.
He's a dung beetle?
He's a dung
beetle. Is that
beetle.
why he's rolling a ball around?
Yep, that seems to be it. So
Whose idea was that? That's unsanitary. I don't want my packages being delivered by a dung beetle.
Thankfully, unlike Monster Hunter World, this game does not seem to have any poo in it.
It could be poo. It's in
Beetles, I
sand.
don't think that they should work in the postal industry.
Yeah.
How do you not know in that ball of sand that he's rolling is not poo that he's delivering?
There is potentially poo in there.
Well, did he wash his hands?
I don't think he
before
has
coming to work?
hands. He doesn't have hands.
I don't know. It's
I don't know.
ridiculous.
But it looks fun. It's a very novel-looking platformer of, rolling your ball into places and then kind of getting dragged along on a string. But also dung beetle and poo. But it's a Nintendo-ized dung beetle.
Video game developers, stop putting poo in your games.
Yeah, I
All
don't
of
know.
you.
they've got this sort of like monomaniacal focus on consuming poop or something. I don't know. Like Blizzard is the most notorious for this, since every second quest appears to involve, collecting things from poo and then eating them later.
They try not to, but I don't think they can help themselves. They just accidentally make a poo quest.
There's something wrong with those guys.
You don't just accidentally make a poo quest.
Yeah. You don't just accidentally make 2 per expansion.
Yeah.
Or more.
Or more.
Or more.
I think
we're averaging about 2 per expansion at this point.
Yeah, roughly.
And I'm not talking about, there's incidentally poo in the area. I'm talking about a quest which is focused on interacting with poop in some manner.
Yeah.
Usually digging through it.
Yeah. So, without getting too, bogged down on poo, the puns just write themselves now. This game, it looks kind of neat. Kind of cute.
In sort of like a Nintendo-y kind of way.
So, I wouldn't mind playing this.
It reminded me weirdly of Loco Roco for some reason.
It does a little bit. Maybe it's just the ball.
Could be. I think it's more sort of the way in which the level sort of steers you around.
They kind of just how they flow, yeah. And thankfully the game isn't pre-packaged diabetes like Loco Roco was, but
no,
yeah,
it's
still cute,
quite pretty in a lot of ways. I don't know if I'd play it.
I'd play it.
It's not really my kind of thing, but it looks like a reasonable production. I guess it depends on the sort of depth that they put into it, whether there's lots of stuff to explore and find or not.
Yeah. There's got to be stuff in there. So, last game on the Nintendo list before we get into the other stuff. Thankfully, there is less of that. Yomawari. And The Long Last Night.
Pretty, but I don't really know what it's about.
Some sort of psychological horror thriller thing. It looks weird as all get out.
Yeah, but it was the only thing that looked like nice without being Nintendo. It's quite nicely drawn.
Oh,
yep.
Right, this thing.
Yeah.
I don't really know what the gameplay mechanics are from this trailer. It looks like you use the flashlight in some way, but I don't quite get it from the trailer they got going on here.
Yeah, looks like you walk around, you explore the place, and things come out to try to eat your face.
Something like that.
Very, very strange things, and also, wait a minute. Oh dear. That was Fate Zero Caster, wasn't it?
Huh?
I swear Fate Zero Caster's face just showed up. Anyway.
I didn't notice that when I watched the trailer.
You'll not be able to unsee it when it happens.
Right, I'm running the trailer in the background now. I have to see what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, my legs are all wrong for this.
So yeah, it looks cool.
With these type of 2D horror games, though, you really have to wait till they come out to get a feel for them and let somebody else be the guinea pig. Because 9 times out of 10, they're not very good.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes they accomplish something, but it's not necessarily what they were going for.
They accomplish a cult following on YouTube.
Right.
Yeah. So it's cool. It's stylish. It's a little bit unsettling, and it's kind of got all sorts of weird Japanese boogity-boos in it.
If it's good, I might check it out. We'll see. I'm not turned off by it, but I'm not excited for it either.
Unfortunately, they don't really show too much of the gameplay mechanics in the trailer, which is a bit of a letdown. All right. Let's just dive straight into this next bit, I guess. And then we'll take a break. So.
Okay.
This game. Why? Why this game? Days Gone.
Oh,
yeah.
Wait, where are you on the list?
My list might be slightly different.
Okay.
I've reworked it so many times.
Because it confused me when I saw it.
Yeah. So it's a zombie game. I'm already asleep.
it's not just a zombie game. It's the same zombie game that everybody's been playing for forever, just redone again for the nth time. It's like I think that it's sort of like Last of Us happened and was a smash hit, and everybody figured that, oh well, we can do almost the same thing, except we'll not make it, as sort of like heavy on family themes and things. We'll just, make an action game, except we'll do everything else the same, sort of thing. Like
And the zombies are the worst part of The Last of Us. Why are zombies still a thing?
I don't know. Just can we have a break from zombies, please?
As I've related before, the type of monster that is popular at a given point of time is a product of the culture. Like there are ties in terms of like political leanings of media consumers and the types of monsters that they find to be the monster of the decade sort of thing. And we've been stuck in a zombie rut for a long time because the political landscape of mass media producers and consumers has been a monoculture for so long. They favor that format to the like the classic Dracula vampire, for instance. When was the last time you saw one?
Like, way too long. Underworld? Yeah.
Like Victor in Underworld is the last time somebody did a proper vampire.
Yeah. The first Underworld. The others were terrible, by the way.
There hasn't been one since, and it's been like 15 years since that movie came out.
That movie was... Well, actually, no, that movie wasn't all that great, but it was still fun.
Well, I remembered it because Victor was an actual vampire.
Yes. Not some sparkly thing that wants in your pants, instead of some murderous monster that wants into your soul.
Yeah, not a glampire.
No.
Yeah. We're not talking about glampires. Like, the vampires in Blade were better than zombies. Like, let's not...
Blade was horrendous.
It was horrendous, but it also didn't happen because apparently the first time a black man has ever been in a movie was Black Panther, according to
yes, yes, he's the first black superhero apparently.
So I guess Wesley Snipes has never been in a movie before.
No, sorry Wesley, your movie wasn't all that good though.
But
Next.
I mean, I didn't think it was that bad because you're supposed to watch it as sort of a bit of a popcorn joke.
Oh yeah, it was dumb and campy, and I admit I enjoyed it. But it still wasn't very good.
Blade has awesome ham factor, and I think that outweighs the badness.
Yeah. Ironic enjoyment is just as important.
Most of the time, I would rather watch a hammy movie than a good movie.
Yeah. Preferably a good hammy movie, but yeah. Next on the list
Blade could qualify for.
Next on the list is for Sony. It's Tetris Effect.
What? Like, I just watched that trailer and I was like, what?
Okay,
what are you even saying here?
You're going on about psychobabble and people seeing things when they relax after they've stared at something for so long. We've all been there.
I would credit them this. I had no idea if they made that crap up or whether it's actually like published somewhere.
Yeah. Like, I'm just expecting, Tetris. It's Tetris. Like, it's done by the guys who did Lumines and Rez, so it's going to be, psychedelic and incredibly pretty to look at. Assuming it doesn't give you a seizure. But Tetris. It's just Tetris.
It'll go right beside that whatever release of Tempest that's getting hyped up is coming out next.
Yeah.
Like ancient arcade games that haven't changed in years that we bought 50 times.
Yeah.
Wait, isn't Tempest just Space Invaders?
Nope, what'd you say?
Isn't Tempest just Space Invaders? Except it gives you a epileptic fit at the same time.
It gives you a circle, and you spin around the circle, and you shoot into the circle, and you dodge obstacles.
So it's Asteroid.
Except you're on a gridded plane that's a circle, and that's the only novelty about it.
Huh. So looking at this trailer for Tetris, it's pretty. It's all colourful and it's interesting lights.
It's pretty, but I have no idea if any of that is gameplay.
No, it's not.
Is it?
I don't think so.
So this is what is it then?
I don't know, but
if not gameplay.
Looking at this trailer with just the music, with no sound on it, as I've got it up on the stream now, you can't tell it's Tetris. Like every now and again, you'll see falling blocks.
You can, by the end of it, you can. And by the end of it, you can say, "Oh yeah, it's probably Tetris, eh?"
There's kind of some Tetris in there. But then there's windmills.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, windmills.
And suddenly we're on the moon. I mean, what is going on here? And what does this have to do with Tetris?
I don't know.
Tetris should be suicide and Russians.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. But yeah, there's only so much you can do with Tetris. Like, if somebody said, like, "Oh, well, as our like a big first-party puzzler." Like, let's say you're a functionary in the marketing department for Sony, and they're like, "Oh, well, our first-party puzzler that we're releasing this year is a new Tetris, and here's the design doc." Like, what marketing campaign would you come up with?
Like, there are dudes that like Tetris, but how
Tetris
do you
is
sell
fine.
a game to them? They've already bought Tetris. What makes you sell a new Tetris to people? Even if you're selling
it's in that spirit. Like,
Yeah.
that I can't blame them for making such a weird thing, because I honestly can't think of how I would sell it.
I could not think of a way to sell Tetris, and I just go up and say, "It's Tetris! Buy my Tetris!"
Yeah, no, I wouldn't want to be that marketing guy.
So instead you get this admittedly really cool trailer. But it's got nothing to do with Tetris, really.
Yeah, but the only thing we have to say about it is what?
Well, yeah. If you're including it as a trailer for a game, it's just like, what? But yeah, it's just a piece of visual candy. It's great. Also, apparently, it's on PlayStation VR. So have that implanted directly into your eyeballs.
I don't think that I want to do that. Okay. Nothing about that.
Chris already hurts my head on a phone.
Yeah. Next game, Twin Mirror.
Your list is divulged from the one you posted, so I don't know where you're at now.
I'm just going down the list of Sony.
You are using a totally different list to the one that you posted. So
yeah, I admit I am.
Yeah, like, you're using the old list. You're not actually using the revised list. You're
Oh
using
no,
the original.
this is actually a list that's gotten revised so many times it's come back around to the old list.
Right, because you're using the one you sent me yesterday. The one you've posted it in the show host channel is completely different.
Yeah, I have no such thing from yesterday, so go for it, Vern. I guess you're leading this.
I don't know what this game is, honestly.
What game?
So yeah, Twin Mirror.
No, I'm trying to remember. Oh, that's freaking. Isn't that Life is Strange people?
Yeah.
In other words, it's going to be pretentious and it's going to suck.
Yeah. I'm just still waiting for David Cage's
it.
name to show up on it or something like that.
For fans of this show, Life is Strange is my sister's favorite game. That's how you know it's bad.
Oh dear, that says a lot.
Your sister also likes Honey Pop.
Yes. Like, it's from what I can tell from the trailer, it's some guy who gets knocked out on a pier, has some sort of really weird hallucinations, and needs to put on a shirt. I don't know what else is going on here.
I don't know. If it is the same guys, their MO so far seems to be take a concept, last time it was the butterfly effect, and not represent it properly at all. In fact, just do it wrong and get people believing it's something it's not.
How could you get the butterfly effect wrong? Like, the butterfly effect is a very simple concept.
They literally turn it into a tornado that shows up because of time traveling, instead of repercussions being big for small actions taken with time travel.
Well, the reality is that I'm sure that's like, this sort of the science and medical research they do on forensics and doctor shows.
Mm.
Like, it's probably deeply, deeply horrible, but you don't know because you're not an expert in the field.
Yeah.
It's just that games developers are so much more pleb tier than even TV drama scripters that's the best they can really do.
Okay, last game we have from Sony only just came out this morning. Which, I don't know, we haven't actually had a proper chance to even have a look at this one. Which is Ghost Giant.
You're right, you never posted this one, so I don't have it.
I did put it somewhere. It's probably just gotten buried.
Yeah, you put it somewhere in your own stuff, probably.
Possibly. But it's a PlayStation VR game, which it's cute and it's bright and it looks like the world is made out of kind of cheap paper. But from what I can tell, you basically get to play as God and terrorize some big-headed animals. It's like Animal Crossing, except you can be vindictive and knock their houses over.
So, right.
Yeah, like Black and White, I guess.
But Black and White, the animal did the terrorizing.
You could also do the terrorizing. It was a joint party terrorizing. So yeah.
I guess you could use the shrines in Black and White to terrorize yourself and not have to use your animal.
The game terrorized me because it would whisper my name into my headset every now and again, and it's very, very unsettling.
Why would you do this?
I don't know. This was back before Molyneux became, well, Molyneux.
Well, back when Molyneux made games instead of promises.
Yes. That's the one.
Waiting on them trees, Molyneux.
You might be waiting a long time.
I think you're going to be waiting a long time. So yeah, this game, it looks cute and artsy. I'm not exactly sure what the gameplay cycle is like, though, but meh. It's a God Sim in VR, I guess. Either a God Sim or something probably closer to Tearaway. Where you're just, screwing with the world.
Let's move on. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Okay. Here's a nice, easy game to talk about. Atlas Dancy Dancy Times.
Looks terrible.
It looks like Persona, except they're dancing. Actually, no, it doesn't. It looks like Project
There's no story
Evil.
mode this time.
You what?
The biggest reason people... Yeah, there's... Dancing Moon Knight and Dancing Star Knight do not have a proper story mode like last time.
Yeah. Incidentally, they've changed the
That's
names in the English version. It's Dancing in Moonlight and Dancing in Starlight.
Which doesn't make a lot more sense, but it does make slightly more sense.
Yeah. Incidentally, they're not... Persona 3, they're not dancing in moonlight. They're dancing in sort of eldritch light, ambient light. Midnight... Yeah. Midnight Zone... Damn, what was it called now?
Midnight Channel?
No, that's Persona 4.
The
Dark Hour. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it does not have moonlight, sort of.
Well, there's a moon.
There's a moon, but everything's kind of frozen and weird. Also, no dancing dog. They have completely failed at what they said they should be doing here.
No Koromaru?
No Koromaru.
That's a missed opportunity.
Completely. Why you do this, Atlas? Why you miss perfect opportunities?
Surprise. He'll be DLC. Watch. That's the secret.
Oh, that's genius.
Everybody will buy this.
Everybody would buy Dancing Koromaru DLC.
Him and his Mudo spamming butt. I did not take that dog anywhere.
Mudo Mutt is awesome, thank you very much. And he kind of does just easy mode his way through everything. Until you hit something that's, resistant to Mudo, in which case he runs into a wall.
Mudo.
Yeah.
Mudo Dog needs Shinji's help to be a good character. He has to piggyback off his story in the female route to get any development as a dog.
Well, that's because he's a dog. He just doesn't really have his own story arc. He just kind of dogs.
I'm just mad at him because he Mudos all the time, and he just screwed me over so much. He was worse than Mitsuru for me. I had to fire him.
Yeah, Mitsuru tended to work against me, and she was constantly doing that.
But her stats are so good, and her spells are so good.
But her AI was rubbish.
You just gotta find a way to get rid of Marin Karn.
Oh, no, there's a better way to do that. You get one of the enhanced versions and just control her directly.
You mean you get the PSP version, play the female route, where the game's been completely rewritten to be better? Yes, you do that.
Yes. Alright, so that's...
At any rate...
That's Persona Dancy Dance.
We didn't actually talk about Persona Dancy Dance at all. You guys talked about something completely different.
We talked about dancing dogs.
You talked about things that weren't in the game. You didn't talk about things that were. But what is in the game is bad music and bad dancing. So I don't know why anybody would play this. Like the whole reason that people like the music in Persona is because it fits the ambience of the game. But there's no game here. So the music is just bad because it doesn't stand alone very well.
Yeah.
And
each Persona game has
I like the insert tracks and the vocal songs from Persona 5, and I don't like the rappy bits in Persona 3. I'm not a fan.
Nah.
But the ambient bits are really good, especially Erebus' boss fight music. But I just don't want to play those in a rhythm game. I would rather just listen to them.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. It's like they're not dance songs at all.
No.
No.
Like, you're not supposed to dance to those, and the dancing is unbelievably cringeworthy. And basically,
Yeah.
I was saying to Fern, like, they could have just saved themselves a huge amount of time and money if they just made Persona 3 and Persona 5 modules for extant software like Project Diva. Like,
Yeah.
that would be very inexpensive to do, and it would be better, because Project Diva is a better rhythm game than the Persona ones, period.
Mm-hmm.
They already ripped a ton of systems, from what I understand, from Project Diva for the games.
So
Yeah.
this is just it's a game that it's a pair of games with no purpose other than to cash in. It's incredibly cynical.
Yeah.
Like, if they had actually gone to the effort of writing a story mode for each one, it would be forgivable. But they didn't, so it's just a cash in.
What was the story mode for Persona 4 dancing anyway? It was incredibly silly, but that's about all I
I
can
had
remember.
Ashley Birch replacing Laura Bailey, so I didn't watch the whole thing.
Oh, why would you do that?
I don't know. It was horrible.
Ugh. Alright, we're back at least on the same list now. So, next game in the list, Generation Zero.
Hang on, I gotta pull up the picture for all.
You gotta get back to the right
They
list.
are.
my immediate impression of Generation Zero was that it was a zombie game. The only difference is that the zombies were made of metal. Like,
Yeah.
it looks exactly like a zombie game. If you switched out those robots for like the generic zombies in whatever that other one is that I don't remember the name of, and you didn't give us the right list, so I can't look it up.
Days Gone.
Days Gone, yeah. It's basically, you pull some stuff out of Days Gone, you put it in there, it's the same game.
Yeah, with weird-looking robots instead of zombies. That's it.
Even if this didn't have the zombie aesthetic going to it with robots, it just looks bad. Those graphics are bad. That gameplay looks generic. You could not get me to buy this.
No.
There's just no point. There's nothing to commend it. It's not even interesting. The robots don't even look cool. Like, the Horizon Zero Dawn had cool robots, if nothing else.
It also had Ashley Birch, unfortunately.
Well, yeah, but
yeah,
it had cool robots.
It had very cool robots.
It's just that, there's no reason to play a game which is the same as all the other games, which seems to be the thing that they're going for these days.
If I had to guess, I'd say it's not a 4-person co-op shooter, is it? As in Left 4 Dead. That
was the impression that I got.
That's the wrong trailer. I'll just switch back. There we are.
That was the impression that I got. I don't know if that's actually what it is, and to a certain extent, it doesn't really matter because I'm not going to play it.
No, if it is, that's even less of a reason to play it because we've already got the ideal for 4-person co-op shooters, and everyone's already got their favourites. So,
The fact is that it's a generic environment with generic characters and generic enemies.
Ugly enemies.
What are you selling this on?
Yeah. Meh. Can't care.
Yeah, don't ask me, Doug.
Nobody will be able to.
Just
this
can't.
Will be one of those rando games that sits on Steam and you see on sale all the time because they can't sell it.
Yeah. Next is something that's going to get right up its own buttocks, potentially, but it is Bandai, so who knows. 1111 because it's got a really bad name.
Yeah, I don't know what it's about.
World War One in watercolors, which is probably going to get headache-inducing very quickly.
Yeah. Is there a game in that trailer anywhere?
No.
That was my question.
No game. So, yeah, all we know is it's a game that's set in World War One, and it's going to use this visual filter. Because that's all it is, actually. It's just a filter applied over to 3D models. It also has a cat in it. So, yeah, it's got a cat.
Yeah.
From the little bits I've been able to glean from the trailer, you've got two different people on opposite sides of the conflict. Being World War One, who knows even what those are. And they've both got a different story. And apparently they're supposed to butt heads at some point.
Yep.
But, yeah, this is World War One, so... Yeah, one has a cat motif, one has a bird motif.
The most interesting thing in the in the trailer was the pigeon. That tells you about how interesting this trailer was.
Yeah. So for all we know, it could be 2 people sitting around in their own feces for 3 weeks, because that would be a World War One.
Is it the alt history World War One too? I suppose.
Old history World War One has robots and sky lasers.
Weird.
Because, Call of Duty happened. So, I don't even know what this is. Is it a narrative game? Is it a puzzle game? We don't know. Is it a walking sim? Please don't say it's a walking sim.
This is where we pretend we're Big Macintosh and just go yup for this game.
Yep. Alright.
There ain't much to say on it. There's quite a few games like that, by the way. Just so y'all know.
This is the problem with E3. They show a lot of fancy, high-class, high-concept trailers, and not a whole lot of gameplay.
Yeah, some of these will not come out, like, ever.
Ever. Here's a game that is coming out and actually has what appears to be a game trade trailer. Yes. Code Vein, also known as Edge the Game.
Yeah, like, the reality is I'm still going to buy it. Like,
yeah.
Even though it's, like, the most toony thing ever, and it's so edgy that just picking up the controller will probably cut yourself.
Yep.
But I'm still going to buy it because of, like, what I was saying about the Persona 5 anime. Like, there's, in a lot of ways, there are very little difference between the game and the anime medium now. So if I get to play an anime, I'm perfectly okay with that. And it looks like you get to run around and hit things, and it's got a story, and it's got classic anime, tropes and archetypes and things, and it seems like it might be fun to play. So, I don't really care about the fine detail on that count. It's going to I'll probably buy it and play it.
Incidentally, someone in this game is a vampire. I'm not sure if it's the enemies or the good guys, but someone's a vampire.
I'm pretty sure it's everybody. I'm pretty sure there isn't anybody who isn't a vampire.
Oh, for maximum edge then.
Yeah, like everybody's a vampire. But I mean, it's like when everybody's a vampire, then is anybody really a vampire?
No.
Because a vampire's only a vampire relative to other things.
But, look at this game. It looks beautiful. Looks like it plays great. It's fast. It's slashy. But it's
everybody
also
looks like they're, performing at a J-Rock concert.
Yes.
But
it is also,
that's the point, though.
It's also just edge in video game form.
It's
going to be a completely over-the-top, fantastic expression of all of the things that edgy anime written for tweens has.
No, I kind of want to play this now.
I am interested in it, but at the same time, I'm very hesitant because it's drawing a lot of Dark Souls comparisons and apparently cribs a lot from Dark Souls.
Just draw. Yeah.
Listen to yourself. There is no one who doesn't compare things to Dark Souls. And I saw.
No, I mean, like a for realsies time.
No, there is no for realsies. You cannot credit any of this crap. I saw an article saying that Avengers Infinity War is based on Dark Souls.
Yeah, I feel dumber just for hearing that.
I'm just saying, it's got the fan nickname Anime Souls, and that's why I see more than anything else for it.
It had the fan nickname Anime Souls when the first teaser with no gameplay in it came out. Like, I'm saying, you cannot set any value by any comparison with Dark Souls, no matter who it's from.
Nope.
Because the word is poison.
Oh, dear.
Like, realistically, anytime you bring up Dark Souls, you're just going to kill the conversation. It's useless.
It's actually happened already.
Metroidvania.
Yeah, it's happened now. It's happened right here.
Yeah.
Calm down.
You might as well call it a Metroidvania game. Go ahead. It'll make so much sense.
Calm down.
Dear.
I'm sick of you bringing up Dark Souls every single time. It's always wrong.
It's okay.
Dark Souls is just one of those things that gets everybody salty. Okay, next game, because that one actually looks good. In a potentially ironic way. Here's a game that's guaranteed to be not good, however. Fear the Wolves. It's PUBG, except with a stalker skin.
I've played it once.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be released for like $60 on Steam, be $10 within 3 months, and nobody will buy it.
Yeah. Like, why would you play this when
I've never seen a trailer
Fortnite's
that managed to make a game look so boring outside of like No Man's Sky.
The initial trailers for No Man's Sky actually looked interesting-ish, but oh boy, the gameplay, oh boy. So,
Well, the thing is that the problem with No Man's Sky trailers is that they started off with environment shots.
Yeah.
But when the game was about to be released, the trailers were still just environment shots.
Yeah, and when you get in the game,
The same environment shot.
There's no environment in the game. It's just kind of some rocks and occasionally a bush on it. So anyway, where were we? Fear the Wolves. It's Battle Royale. That's all you really need to know. It's Battle Royale, it's got airdrops, and occasionally it has wolves.
Everything else this year.
Yeah. So, yay, Battle Royale.
Just watch the trailer and you'll see what I mean. It's incredibly dull.
I can't watch it because I'm getting bored by these images on the screen.
It's trying to sell itself to Stalker fans, and Stalker fans love boring games, so maybe they'll get some mileage there.
I thought Stalker fans like bang their head against a brick wall while their computer doesn't actually play the game.
I've seen somebody playing Stalker once, in real life, so it must work.
Eventually. I've got Stalker. I've got a couple of the Stalker games. I think I've got Call of Pripyat, and I've never been able to get it to work, regardless of what operating system I'm running.
They are games entirely about walking blindly around the zone,
and occasionally dying in radioactive puddles.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I had one computer that ran a Stalker game out of the download once. I think it was Shadow Chernobyl, maybe? I don't remember.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
I think it was the best running of the bunch.
So, yeah, it's Fear the Wolves. It's PUBG. It's got wolves, but it's PUBG.
Also, I felt like the wolves were kind of an underwhelming thing to fear.
It's like this random thing that the environment can throw at you just to randomly kill you and cull the numbers faster.
It's like Fear the Wolves. Yeah, I don't want to be eaten by wolves, but that's kind of a boring way to go, really.
They're radioactive wolves. That's something.
They're wolves with cancer, in other words.
Yeah.
So they'll die on their own if you just leave them.
Just leave them be. Next game we'll probably only very quickly brush against because there's not a whole lot to say about it. It's Project High Rise Architect Edition on the consoles.
Don't care.
Yeah. I tried...
Type of sim is the least exciting sim to me.
Yeah, I tried Project High Rise a while ago and I just found it incredibly flat. And that's...
I didn't even watch this one.
Yeah.
Little I cared about it.
Yeah. So that's coming out on consoles for those people who like that game. I might try it again eventually, maybe, because they've added a whole bunch of stuff since then, but... No big rush. Here's a game we can get nice and angry about, though. Well, disappointed or sad. We can do either way. Dead or Alive 6!
Oh, no.
Well, I mean, the thing is, they're just going to lose a pile of money. That's all that's going to happen. This is going to be totally uninteresting. They'll release it, nobody will buy it.
So, yeah, it's more Dead or Alive, which is always good. We need more Dead or Alive. But, where's the camp?
We need them in order to see where certain lines in the sand are.
Also, yes. But, where's the camp? Where are the massive jiggling boobies? Where's anything?
They've gone to live where all the other things have gone that feminists like to kill.
It's got edge now. We don't want edge in Dead or Alive. We want camp.
I want to believe that this is an attempt only to flesh out the gameplay mechanics and make it marketable based on the gameplay, but I know it's not.
Nah.
Well, they said it's not.
Oh, did they?
They've come out and said, no, we want to do a serious game now, rather than one about boobies, basically.
But then why do Dead or Alive? Dead or Alive has always been incredibly silly. That's
the question. Ninja Gaiden already exists.
Yes.
That's their franchise.
Incidentally, it also has boobies in it.
Well, yeah, but it's a vessel in which you can put edge. Because the game is about being edgy. It's about being a ninja.
Yeah. Oh dear, my cat's walking up a hairball.
That's what that franchise is for. It's supposed to be the repository of edge, and you can put all the cheesecake in Dead or Alive. And Dead or Alive, it lives and dies on, fans of Ayane and Kasumi and Hitomi and Marie Rose. Between those four characters, you've got 99% of the sales of that game.
Yeah.
Just from 4 characters on the roster. Nobody even knows the names of the male characters on that roster.
No, they don't.
The reason people buy it is to play
People
a
know
fight
Ryu.
with movies in it. End of story. That's the reason. And you can't just decide that doesn't matter because you don't want it to.
Yeah, bring back the camp.
I'm not even saying necessarily bring it back. Like, I don't think it adds anything of particular value.
No, not
other
really.
Than, a certain reference point.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
the idea that you can turn a franchise into something that it's not has been going around a lot for the past half decade or so.
Yeah.
And it has never once worked.
It's
Ever.
worked once, actually, in the case of Fallout, but that's it.
Did it? Like, Fallout hasn't been very successful lately.
Yeah, but going from Fallout 2 to Fallout 3, it worked.
Well, that didn't happen within the last 5 years.
Oh,
it
good
happened like
grief,
a
it
decade.
didn't. Ah! Stop it, time! Next game! And then we'll take a couple more and then we'll take a break, because we're nearly at the bottom of the list. Remalor by Itsles. It's an action RPG.
It's got a nice art style, but the gameplay looks kind of banal in the trailer. Like, it just looks like the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
It's sort of like how watching somebody actually play Diablo is really boring.
Yeah. So, in terms of actually playing it, it could be fun, but you won't get that from the trailer. Because, it's the same as any action RPG. It's just very dull to watch.
Yeah, like what they really needed to do was show some story content, I guess.
Yeah. So, that's the thing. I don't really have a lot to say about this one.
No, there's not really much to say about that trailer in general.
Yep.
There's just not a lot there.
Okay, next game is one actually by Oculus, which is Stormland.
Now, I talked to Fern a bit about this yesterday, how I felt about the trailer. And it's basically the impression it gave me was somebody's idea of the game they want to make.
Yeah.
And not really an actual game. It didn't give me the impression of being, like... The trailer was not representative of things happening in the game. The trailer was representative of the concept behind the game.
Mm-hmm.
Done in in-engine graphics, but it didn't feel like it was a real game.
There's no way the climbing works like that in the beta build they have right now.
No.
That was a design target, if you ask me.
Yeah. So, from what I can gather from the trailer and the little bits they show, first-person game in VR. First-person shooter in VR. One with jetpacks.
I would like to tell you, it's not necessarily as great an idea as it sounds, and your neck gets tired.
Yeah. That's if you don't outright throw up.
I haven't had any problems with motion sickness. I'll say that. But
yeah. But some people, they just put the headset on and that's it. They're done.
Boom. Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
So, if it was not in VR, it could be cool. Like, looks fast, and Insomniac has always made some pretty decent games, who, by the way, they're also partnering with Oculus to make it. But VR, seems like it just seems like a weird idea, weird decision.
Yeah. Well, the game, I think the game concept has got legs. You could do stuff with it.
Yeah.
But I think the actual execution doesn't exist. Like what they have shown is not a thing that is real. That's my impression.
Yeah.
I don't have a point of reference for the VR stuff because I haven't really tried it yet. So
yeah, go to a conference and try it at some point if you can actually get anywhere near it.
I put one on very briefly at a friend's house, but I'm not enough to get any kind of impression.
Fair enough. All right, next game. We're approaching the bottom of the list. We only got a few more. Strange Brigade.
Yeah, there's no gameplay in there. That's not true. There is gameplay in there, but it's not really clear what that gameplay is per se.
No.
It looks like a 4-player co-op third-person something. Sometimes a brawler, sometimes a shooter. It's not really very clear.
Or something.
But I don't know if that's actually what the game is, because the game doesn't telegraph what it is very well at all.
Let me see. It's
Oh,
actually
is
got
this that game with all the still frames in the trailer? The like in black and white?
That's the one.
It advertises its own interviews and stuff.
Because reasons.
Because if anybody cares.
Let me see. It's on Steam at the moment. Let's see. Set in the 1930s. That Rumor's Tomb. It's just an adventure game with up to 4-player co-op.
Yeah, so it's pretty hard to determine what that means in practice.
Yeah. Calling something an action-adventure game. Action-adventure game is just the catch-all term for video game.
Yeah, if you go to an online store and you narrow categories of video games down to action-adventure, you haven't really narrowed anything very much. Like, the only thing that won't appear there is Madden.
Yeah, well, even then, maybe. Alright. Here's another game that actually won't fit that category. Total War 3 Kingdoms. War for the Three Kingdoms.
Total War games have historically been good from what I hear, although I haven't played them. They have also historically been buggy as heck at times.
Also, yes.
But yeah, it mainly just made me feel sad about Dynasty Warriors. Like,
yeah,
how far that franchise has fallen. But I think that it's nice that Three Kingdoms is sort of getting its turn.
Mm-hmm.
Since they've done practically everything else on Earth at this point.
And everything not on Earth, because they've done Warhammer as well now.
That's true.
Yeah, Total Warhammer. But at least with Total War, they're going to maintain that long-standing history of ham that Three Kingdoms has.
Yeah, I suppose that's the important thing, really. Like,
it's not Three Kingdoms unless half the cast is standing around shouting at each other.
Well, I mean, realistically, the Three Kingdoms, the novel, was written to be like the hamtastic version of Chinese military history.
Yes.
So
it also involves a lot of people shouting at each other.
Yeah, a great deal of shouting. But,
yes.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like a Total War game. It looks like a pretty decent one, and as far as you can tell from the trailer, it looks cool. It mostly seems to be focused on Cao Cao.
At least this trailer does, yes.
Who is this time not Cow Cow.
Yes. I'm glad. That's one of the things I'm glad they improved for Dynasty Warriors was at least the butchering of the names. They only butcher them some of the time now. But yeah, like it's Total War. It's Three Kingdoms. It's great. It looks fun because Total War has always been a solid RTS game, but I want Dynasty Warriors 9.
Yeah,
and it's making me sad.
Can't have it.
Can't have it because what we got was... So yeah, Three Kingdoms Total War. Yay! Final game-ish. I use the game words loosely. Walking Dead Final Series.
The only good part about that is final.
It's not going to be the final. Yeah.
Well, I guess Walking Dead's losing its popularity nowadays, so I guess they're like, that's not...
Yeah, is the TV show still going?
I think it is, but I don't hear anybody talking about it at all.
Yeah, like, you lost me at the word zombies.
It's hard to retain your popularity when the only thing you can do is, like, torment children over and over.
You can only do that for so long.
The entire series.
Yeah.
Like, it's only edgy the first time.
Yeah. Like, we've seen these same characters going around in circles now for, 5 series? And that's the games.
The world is not going to stop being post-apocalyptic at some point.
They're not going to cure the zombies and try and rebuild or anything like that.
They're running out of reasons why those zombies haven't decomposed on their own yet. Especially in the Georgia heat.
Yeah. Heat plus humidities do not combine well with zombies.
Yeah, that zombie apocalypse should have ended months ago.
There are a lot of practical problems with zombie apocalypses in general.
Yeah. If we're going to have another zombie apocalypse, at least make it a campy and silly one, please. We haven't done campy and silly zombies in a long time. Well, hang on, no, that's not quite true. We had Dead Rising, and then they ruined it.
There was that movie with Zombie Bill Murray in it.
There was Zombie Bill Murray.
Oh, Zombieland?
Yeah, that one was actually kind of good, because it was very silly.
Wasn't that the one with Bill Murray in it?
Yeah, pretty sure that was the one. Hang on, I'll go double check that now.
Pretty sure it is. Anyway.
Yeah.
I need to kill somebody who's making my internet lag, so we should probably go to a break real soon, like.
We probably should.
Yeah, because I haven't been able to butt in, like, at all, because I've been lagging so hard.
Alright, yeah, we're way over time for a break anyway, so let us do that, shall we?
Alrighty.
We will be right back, folks. Here's some music. Trainwreck time.
The optimism, it is real.
Oh no. This may be entertaining, but not in the way we intend it to be.
Well, we don't know yet. We haven't really started.
Well,
So-
remotely,
See,
we
I'm
won't be
saying
able to
it's
tell
gonna
what
be
the
bad.
product is going to be like. Like, we're just hoping that Fern's computer will hold it together and smoke won't start to come out like last time.
Well, this is, well, in most parts, I suppose, a new computer. So, fingers crossed.
We shall see.
So, yeah, welcome back to No Excuses, folks. We're about to embark in a wonderful adventure of, fire and screaming, I think.
Yeah, this is uncharted
We're
territory.
lampshading it in
Yes.
the vain hope that by saying it's going to be bad, things will actually go good. Even
This
though
is-
we know something terrible is going to happen that's going to mess our plans up.
Yeah, we tried this with Gacha. It doesn't work. I'm
Oh,
actually going
dear.
to turn myself down a little bit. So, yeah, we're going to try and do a kind of a live commentary on the EA presser because, let's face it, there's a whole lot of dead air and just stuff not worth hearing in that we can actually snark over it. It worked in testing. I'm just going to throw that out there as a... I don't even know what it is. Possibly as an apology.
It's like, well, we did our due diligence. We didn't know. We didn't know this would happen.
Yeah. So, yeah, it worked when I tested it, but testing and live are entirely different beasts. And, yeah, just remember, if I say something weird, it's probably because I can't actually hear what's on the stream.
You're cutting out. We haven't even started yet.
Wow, that's not good.
Oh, good, it's him. I thought it was me.
That is really bad. Why is it doing that? Please stop.
Oh, no. It stopped now. It was just for a second.
Huh. Okay, I guess it was just Discord being dumb then. Which it has been doing increasingly. So, shall we ride this train into oblivion? Or horribleness?
Yep.
Okay,
It's going to take an hour and 20 minutes-ish, so let's get started.
so to show just how experienced and high-tech we are going to do this the old-fashioned way.
Yeah, this is professionalism itself, folks.
Professionalism. So, we are going to start the stream now.
The same way we start the show. Oh,
Also,
goodness.
yeah, press the button.
What? You didn't even count us
Do
in
a
or anything.
countdown.
Nope.
Count us
You're really
in,
bad at
Fern.
this. I
Start it
still haven't
over.
started.
All right, I'll switch it back.
Yeah, start it
You're not
over.
supposed to try and surprise us. That's not how this goes.
Yes.
Like that's like the sort of train route you get when you actually go out there and start removing parts of the railway beforehand.
Yes, it is. I knew this whole thing was going to be a disaster. Okay, so if you guys have got the buttons ready,
Yep.
okay, we'll do this
What are you
then.
counting to?
Just 3 will do. So 3, 2,
On 3
1.
or after 3?
At the after 1.
So on 0.
Okay, wait.
Wow.
Did we get it? Or-
No, not yet.
Okay, so how about this? 3, 2, 1, go. Ready? Fern, count us in.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, go.
There we go.
Right,
Alright, so
we are terrible
we've
at
got
this.
the usual shameful montage. I was actually rather surprised that they were willing to put Battlefront in their montage.
Yeah,
That's like you know what you're reminding people of here, right?
yeah. What actually amazes me is this with the 3D creature and everything like that. You realise though that everybody in the audience, they're probably seeing what, a placeholder graphic or a hook or something, and that's it.
I have no idea. I have no idea what they're seeing here.
Yeah,
It's
what-
got to be a green screen, probably.
Yeah,
That
but-
would be the easiest way.
they are not seeing the monster reaching out of the screen or the people flying around. They're just seeing nothing.
We're going to talk about that.
I don't know what
Yeah,
they're seeing.
But welcome
it is more than likely some kind of green screen.
I'm Andrea Renee, and while you
Or chroma keyable screen.
Or something, yeah.
I'm kind of
So who is this?
Uh,
Who's this lady?
wanted to change things.
I don't know. My speculation is that she is one metric unit generic gamer girl.
this year.
Like,
Fun, you guys. I hope you're ready.
and she may be the only person here who doesn't know that's the entire reason she was hired.
that. EA Play is more than just the show
Yeah.
you're about to watch. Right behind
Her
the
voice
doors
is boring.
a fan fest outside. And
I gotta
Well, I
say,
mean-
actually, I love this audience. I really love this audience.
gamers.
None of them are particularly invested, and it seemed to have a great deal of difficulty mustering any enthusiasm for most of what
Check
goes
out-
on here.
Very mean.
Yeah.
Check out Glasses Boy forcing that smile in the front seat.
Showing off. Get to that. We've got some.
I think he mainly wants her to be quiet. Because, like, when did the MCs ever do anything useful in these things?
Yeah.
Nothing. Ooh, golf claps.
The only thing is, like,
Then we're gonna move on to FIFA.
she's not as bad as Aisha Tyler.
Big.
I don't know.
Women's
Aisha
names.
Tyler's kind of grown into the role of a, self-parody. these
Yeah,
days.
but she's done it by becoming increasingly grotesque. Like,
Yes, she has.
I'm gonna come back towards the end of
this is not a win. This is not what a win looks like.
meaty look at Anthem. And
Look like.
yeah, we got the woos for Anthem. I'm into it. You want to do?
Yeah. The worst parts is when she tries to interact with the audience. Like, I just wish she wouldn't.
Yeah.
Like, nobody appreciates being put on the spot like that, particularly your average personality of gamer.
So
Yeah, that guy's face just says, "Leave me alone."
Like, yeah, it's like, this crazy woman, get her away from me, is what I'm reading from that.
Yeah. Right.
Oh.
So, Battlefield... Are they calling it Battlefield 5 or Battlefield V? I don't even know anymore.
I'm pretty sure it's 5.
Okay.
It better be 5, because I'll be very annoyed if it's V.
Well, they called the last one Battlefield 1, so who knows anymore?
The last game I saw play with a V in the title was Dupalupa.
Also V.
Well, that's usually when it stands for victory.
Ugh.
Anyway,
That-
so we've got two chaps here to talk about Battlefield 5 and pretend like there's anything about Battlefield that is remotely original.
There's-
Ever.
They've gone full circle. They're back to World War II now.
Also been lots and
Yeah,
lots of
right. We've officially now made no progress. Battlefield 1942 all over again.
to know how
Yeah.
actually works. We want to know more about
So
on the Second World.
they're just showing
So today
you know,
we'll show you more.
We're showing screenshots.
things. But the thing that I notice here is their repeated uses throughout this segment of our take on World War II and our sort of portrayal of World War II. Like they aren't willing to say that it's a game about World War II because they aren't planning to have this even remotely tie into history whatsoever.
Yeah.
Because it would be politically inconvenient.
is back and more
Yeah.
impactful than ever. So, well,
But yeah, that's all great. A tank that just drove through a house, but
they come chasing you
is actually going to be what it looks like in the game.
from those buildings.
Nobody's going to do that because there's too much chance of your tank getting stuck on geometry.
Your
Yeah.
vehicles and
That's what will happen is the tank will get halfway through and get stuck.
all the looks.
Okay, so here we've got the first appearance of, female soldiers that didn't exist in real life.
This is the tip
Yes.
of the iceberg in Battlefield 5. You're going to see a lot more of our new gameplay
They didn't happen until much, much later.
from our
Yeah, and there's a lot of push to have them unhappen, considering the damage that they do to unit morale.
So we want to tell you about those untold stories that got us excited to start with.
Untold stories mean stories they're making up.
It's about
Yes. But it's not going around to, the families of veterans and asking for
witnessing
their ancestors' story because, hey, you can get really cool stories that way.
forever.
No, they're just making something up.
Let's be real, and they keep showing exclusively, in a lot of sections here, they show exclusively female characters and
Exclusive look.
so on and so forth. Like, obviously, what they're going for is they're going to write stories about heroic women of war who didn't exist. Like, this is basically feminism's version of stolen valor.
Oh boy.
Our launch in October is just the beginning.
Like, are there no stories of heroism from the actual war?
World War.
Did that not happen?
Apparently not. And more the point,
So-
the women who actually were involved in the war on the back lines, they didn't do anything heroic at all.
And never mind all the medical team women that were there.
Yeah.
No, we need to make up stories about fake action heroes instead.
Yes. Instead of real people doing really cool things.
Royale.
Like, there are girls there. They were just in the medical team. Tell stories about them.
It wasn't just
Well,
medical
there
team
were-
as well, but
Well, there's also espionage and all sorts of other things. Code
Yeah.
breakers.
Take,
Like,
take your pick.
Destruction.
But no, we have to invent stories. We have to invent stories because we want our game to be overtly political instead of fun.
Bring you experience that you haven't played before in Battlefield or anywhere else.
Haven't played before, huh?
More about that.
Yeah, like, nobody's played a Royale game. That never happens.
no, this is entirely new.
Like, how absurd.
Ugh.
Our multiplayer sandbox
I've already got my DS open.
is more epic.
It took me a
This is
little bit
Battlefield.
longer than that to doze off.
Your next Battlefield experience.
This is Battlefield. I'll come back when we move.
I don't think so, because
It's going to keep being Battlefield 2.
and what follows just doesn't help.
Oh dear.
So now they're going to show off and just count how many women are just jammed in here for no reason. Like it's not. If they had just slipped one or two in, then that would just be they're pandering. But no, they're trying to make their game overtly political.
Historical revisionism.
I don't know. Like this is. Like Three Kingdoms, Romance of the Three Kingdoms has more in common with reality than this does with World War II.
Shouting.
Pretty sure Cody's alternate history hub channel on YouTube is closer to reality.
Horrible histories?
Alternate history. Where he intentionally makes up crap.
Oh dear.
It's like it would be okay if it weren't about being message fiction.
Yeah.
Like, because nobody's got a problem with like alternate history fiction. Or,
Just come out and say it's alternate history fiction then.
Making up war stories, but this is war stories in service of an agenda. This isn't just we wanted to do this story.
Wow, that guy just ended up in a plane engine.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
And they've got jams all sorts of obligatory identity groups in and things like. It's just not necessary. See, you've got your arbitrary lesbians.
Did she just kill her? Like throw her to her death? That wasn't very nice.
I don't know what the circumstances here are. It was just important to them that they jam lesbians in.
Oh boy.
Okay, we're moving on to something else.
No, we're not. We're moving on to FUFA.
Well,
But hugging girls sell
technically
games.
else.
It's a thing.
Oh right, EA is this hurts.
Yeah, it's the soccers.
Spurts.
It's the spurts.
They're never not going to do a FIFA.
Nah.
It makes too much money.
Way
I was
too
on
much
the
money.
marketing team. I'd be like, "Where's the new FIFA every single year too?"
Well,
Yeah.
the thing is, people buy them every year. They like them. Like,
Yeah.
FIFA's popular, and at what it does, FIFA's pretty good.
Oh yeah.
We're down on it because it seems like such a cash-in, and it is. And even FIFA fans will complain about its cash-inness, and a lot of them will skip a year when they're feeling particularly screwed or whatever. But
What I
it
find
does what it does well.
what I find with the EA Sports line is they more or less monopolize that industry. Like they own all of the big sports licenses, all of them.
No, that's not true. That's
Well,
not true.
The big ones that people care about.
Pro Evo fights over licenses with FIFA all the time.
Yeah.
Like if you see a particular league that isn't in there, it's because they don't have that license that year. The fight is active and ongoing
Good.
between the two companies that do them.
We need to encourage that fight then, because that's how we get better games.
EA is leading at the moment, but usually what happens is that one of them will release a game in that year that just happens to be markedly inferior.
Mm-hmm. Incidentally,
And then
how did they steal the UEFA?
balance will swing back the other way.
How did they steal the UFA trophy?
The world's big
Do you know that it's the real UEFA Cup?
Uh,
and a special
There's no way it's the real thing.
I don't know. They've done wackier things for E3 in the past.
and I really like
Yeah, they do a lot of silly
No.
things in service of their games. So no, they're not gonna bring the trophy out here. Why they brought any trophy out here if they weren't going to bring the real one, I don't know. But
At least this time they're not bringing some disinterested commentators out on the field or on the stage. We got disinterested developers instead.
I can't understand a word she's saying.
And you've been asking for a long time, and we are
Her Icelandic accent is a bit thick. I think she's Icelandic, possibly Finnish,
across the game.
somewhere in that part of the world.
I think she's Icelandic.
Tournament mode.
Yeah.
Your club will chase this trophy in career mode. Alex,
Did she say something about Iceland's football team at one point, didn't she?
Yeah.
the journey, and in FIFA Ultimate Team, there'll be live and authentic Champions League content, and we'll share more details on that along with all our other Ultimate Team features later this summer.
And all that's just the beginning.
I don't know. Like, I think that the most out of place thing here really is the fact that they do these at all. Like,
Yeah.
the people that buy FIFA are not going to buy it because of anything they say here. Nobody who's not going to buy FIFA will be moved to buy it because of things they say here. Like, this is, as far as these sports franchises go, this is entirely worthless to them.
Mm-hmm.
They don't spin anything out of these. It doesn't make any difference at all.
I seem to have a lot of noise going on my microphone while, and it's causing the ducking to do horrible things. So bear with me while I fix that up.
So we look forward to everybody experiencing the game on the hands-on sessions this week. And also, of course, we're extremely excited for everybody to play it when we launch on September 28th.
Buddy, you need to lose some weight if you want to wear that tight shirt.
19 News, headlined by the UEFA Champions League.
I think it's a thing.
A thing, you say?
Pause and reflect.
I think it's supposed to be a fashion thing.
Trophy is a little bit surreal.
Yeah, they can get over it. That's an ugly fashion thing.
Most fashion things are.
Generally, yes.
Young player dreams of winning. And for your club,
Yeah, Jack.
this one. The pursuit of champions.
Just my input sensitive.
But for your country,
Your sensitivity decided it was going to do its own thing there.
the World Cup.
So they're promoting FIFA 19, and yet they're going back and adding content for FIFA 18,
In FIFA 18.
even though they're going to stop
Well-
developing that game the moment that 19 comes out.
FIFA team can't wait for the start of the
Well,
World
I mean,
Cup. And we want to
I
celebrate
guess
FIFA 18
they want people to keep playing it until, like,
game with a
the new one comes out. I don't know when the new one's coming out.
No idea.
At the very least, they're supporting their game until the new one gets out. I can get behind that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
except that they're basically to play FIFA is like it's a $60 yearly subscription. I think that's actually, when you consider it relative to other things, it's probably a decent deal these days.
Oh, but don't forget the loot boxes.
like mine, Iceland.
Do they have loot boxes
Yeah.
Do they?
in FIFA?
I think there was one that had some kind of
You didn't use
microtransaction
the loot
thing.
box.
Probably players, skins, teams, who knows?
Yeah.
There's all kinds of ways you could use that, but I don't think it was loot boxes that a FIFA game went dirty with that kind of stuff, though. I think it was something else they did with the DLC.
Apologies.
I might be wrong. I don't remember. I do not care about FIFA, so I have no idea.
Who's excited? FIFA
They're still waffling on about FIFA, aren't they?
so far. But we don't want to stop there. We
Apparently
Yeah,
they are keeping their journey story mode, though.
to announce that for a limited time,
I guess I don't know if that's at all interesting or good.
with the entire
Yeah, it was pretty.
experience is available
Meh.
for free trial on
I'm
PlayStation
entirely distracted by these two outfits.
PC through
Like,
Origin.
But why, though?
girlfriend.
Well, basically because nothing they're saying is worth paying attention to.
It's all just jibber jabber, generic words. Games coming out. Your country, your teams.
So to kick off the
Don't care.
They might as
It's
well
not
not
my
say
country.
any.
we're going to be
I think that this is like basically the opposite of this is whatever the opposite is of preaching to the choir is what's going on here.
So much more for FIFA fans.
Yeah, like, I am more concerned that lady has too much makeup on her face.
The World Cup
She does?
will bring you all the
Her lipstick when she turns towards the camera.
meantime. Let's all enjoy the
Meh.
I'm not watching in a very big window. I don't have enough detail.
Likewise. I have way too many things to watch on this screen.
Oh, good, we're done.
Yeah, almost. We got a little bit of faff to go. Like, more power to people who like FIFA, but just can't care.
Spaghetti.
Good morning.
All right.
Sports.
So
Who's this
everybody's
douchebag?
favourite Australian.
No, he is not Australian. We don't claim him.
People from 60 countries playing in competitive leagues this
You're bringing shame to your country, sir.
year. Team never rests either.
Whatever you say, Outback Steakhouse.
Ah!
His name is now Outback Steakhouse.
Ree!
We've got so much to do here today, but I want to welcome you to EA Play.
So, from what I can tell here, they're advertising Origin Access Premiere, which,
That we have to show you.
if I had to guess from what he's saying, is a subscription service within a subscription service.
Wait, so you have to subscribe to Origin to begin with?
If you want access to Origin Access, like you can just use Origin like Steam for free.
So what does Origin Access get you?
A backlog of games.
TV,
But that's what they're saying this gets you.
Yeah, well, this is saying it gets you a backlog and the newer stuff.
That disruption.
Right, so it's basically the premium version of the original subscription.
Yes.
In the next few years.
So it's like the upper class version.
Yes.
Like if you're dumb enough to give Crunchyroll the extra money.
Electronic Arts.
Yes.
Help our investment to extend our thinking and extend our pioneering into this.
Wait, does some people actually use those things? Those
For the camera, yes.
for your phone, the controllers.
No, I mean for the camera, as in the filming.
Oh, right.
Variety of platforms. But for everyone, it's going to mean.
Like they use it when they're being filmed to do it. That's when it happens.
So this week we've got a tech demo running. All of our games streaming in HD from the cloud.
I don't know. I've always thought that would be a neat novelty to have.
Yeah, but there's no games actually worthwhile to play with it, though.
Oh, no, it'd just be a novelty, but I still think it'd be neat to have. But they're too expensive. There's no way I'd waste money on something that's just a novelty like that.
Oh, yeah, they are not cheap.
The only phone games I play are Grand Order and rhythm games, which would not work with a controller.
Joy of being able to have full access to a great catalogue of games. Today,
But
we're announcing Origin Access.
Great catalog of games, huh? Let's see this.
Uh-huh.
Origin Access Premier will bring you all of our.
It doesn't really clarify on the pricing. Do you need to subscribe to Access and then tack on Premiere or something after it? Or do you just get them as
I
one
think
bundle?
Premiere is. I get the distinct impression Premiere is an extra rank up.
Yeah,
It's like
I get that too.
Additional. It's like the high class version.
Oh, no.
Our library of over 100.
Oh, Anthem.
I like the relentless advertising as though Anthem is.
Okay.
amazing.
I saw the surge on that list. Everything you said about good games is done.
Right now and experience the benefits.
Is the surge bad? Like I don't even
Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty
Yes,
bad.
it's bad.
Origin Access, our base subscription this weekend.
It's towards the
know.
fault.
So
It's
they
not
talk
quite
about
close to the fault.
Origin Access being a base subscription.
Yeah, so it's an extra fee you add on. Is that it? Hang on. I'm going to ask the internet.
I like the part where he's always talking about the joy of subscriptions.
There is
As
no
though
joy
people
in
like-
subscriptions.
As though people like being bent over on a monthly basis. Like
Yeah.
it's not. That doesn't sound credible to me.
Also, why remind us of Plants vs. Zombies? EA ruined that franchise.
Maybe they want us to be mad at them. Maybe that's their marketing strategy.
Okay, here we are.
The Sim? Really? I
Yeah,
think that was right.
that was The Sims.
Flash. That was the only good game I've seen so.
Well, The Sims is basically like FIFA, though, right? It's a huge money spinner that seems to be the same every time.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, everybody.
Here we
Oh,
are.
no.
Yes, it
It's
is. Origin Access Premier is a new tier.
And I just have
In addition, on top of Access.
Sam Pella here in the audience from Reese.
So you upgrade your access to
Her
Access
annoying
Premier.
factor.
How you feeling today?
Holy crap, her annoying factor just went up by 10.
Because she's in the audience.
It's like,
We're excited about that. Man on PC.
like they doing the thing that's closest to without actually hiring Fran Drescher to do it.
Yesterday. And
Oh, wow. Wow, there's a voice that just came out of my past.
Get right to it.
You feeling old?
Yes, stop it.
Like when did the nanny start screening?
It's amazing.
95?
We wanted to
It
bring
was a long time ago, I'm sure.
Incidentally, they are changing Origin Access as it exists now, and they're calling it Origin Access Basic. Because you're a pleb.
now.
Oh, you guys got any guesses? I bet you the internet is going.
Well, they want you to feel that way, don't they?
Yes.
So
Just call it Origin Pleb.
Jedi Fallen Order.
Woo! So Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah. So it kind of gives you some.
Oh no, Star Wars.
Star
The nanny
Wars.
started screening in '93.
Wow, it's even older than I thought. So yeah, we've got Jedi Fallen Order, which
So Vince, you gotta.
we know nothing about. They don't really say anything about it here.
During the dark
They just say it's a thing, it's somewhere between the third and fourth movie, and it's coming next year.
being hunted. So
These things get cancelled at an incredible rate, though. So
Oh yeah, like, they're not just reviving
Like,
that last Star Wars project because their fans told them to stop being just stupid,
3, 4. That sounds like a nice.
except they're not doing it with
tidbits.
that other studio they've dissolved.
dark time.
Oh my goodness, she knows
this woman
nothing
is
about
very,
Star
very
Wars.
bad at telegraphing like she knows anything about Star Wars.
Yeah, like,
All right, so I think people are now anxiously want to know, like, when can we play the game?
It will be holiday of next
Do we
year.
even get a trailer? You guys have seen this before.
No, we do not.
No.
Sorry.
Presumably he's doing it at another press conference or something.
We know.
We're getting more EA stuff in the Microsoft concept, according to what they said before, but who knows?
Maybe next year.
Oh yeah.
Well, Vince,
At this point, this could just be in, pre-planning, for all we know.
we do have a little bit more news on Star
An
Wars.
alpha,
We're gonna toss
like
it
pre-alpha.
over to Dennis.
Alpha is usually sellable at this point.
Hey, I'm not the one who buys into this early access stuff.
Yeah. Make me feel
Okay,
good.
I would not want to be this guy. Like, this guy...
He
like,
does not want to be here.
No.
No.
Well, I think, number one, get him a wardrobe person. Number two, get him a barber. Number three, get him a makeup person. Number four, get somebody to replace him because he's bad at this.
It's like they just picked him up the day before and said, okay, you're doing this, get out on stage.
He must have done something bad in the office and they threw him to the wolves.
Yeah, I think that they wanted him to look haggard because
Yeah.
there's really no other way appropriate for somebody working on that pile to be.
Yeah, wait, this may be brilliant, actually. They want this guy to look pathetic because then the audience will feel sympathetic for him.
Not
Or
working.
something. There's got to be some plan behind this. If you make the guy look this trashy, you know that they've been working so hard fixing the game.
So yeah, they've added the Ewok hunt mode, which is... Actually, that's a stroke of brilliance. I got to give them that.
Well, no, in a sense, it's more of a stroke of irony, in my opinion, because actual Star Wars fans are relentlessly embarrassed by the existence of Ewoks. They don't like Ewoks.
Yes, that's right. So giving you a game where the whole idea is just to go out and murder them, very therapeutic.
Like, Ewoks were included as a marketing stunt. They wanted to sell Ewoks.
Introducing
Nobody likes Ewoks.
Nobody likes Ewoks.
Which will allow you to team up much easier and play with your friends. We're also...
Yeah, but nobody's playing that game, though. That's the thing.
Yeah, what friends?
Nobody's playing the game.
Like, nobody plays a multiplayer game when all the lobbies are empty.
We will also be delivering a new large-scale multiplayer sandbox
Well, I mean, except some people who play fighting games.
Beat up on the AI for a while.
And taking out capital ships.
But like Killer Instinct.
Yes.
We know you have heroes, villains,
Then people go and sit in the lobby.
a certain
There are apparently enough people online in that game to get patches going.
conflict.
No, there's Microsoft money to do that.
That Battlefront 2 this year will be going deep into the Clone Wars.
This guy does not seem very happy about this, really.
No. It just adds credence to the he's just been shoved out there theory.
Multiple levels, including the large...
They must know that this game is already flopped and done, and they're just trying to save face with Disney or somebody.
Yeah. Trying to scrape up enough to cover their costs, or at least turn a profit of some description on it.
Powerful droid army.
That's the only thing I can think of.
So, get me this. They want to attract people back to the game, so they add some cool characters like General Grievous and Obi-Wan, but then they add third movie Anakin Skywalker at his most angsty.
But we're not...
Why would you do this?
Because he hates sand.
He does hate sand.
Leader of the Separatist Alliance, Count Dooku.
Like, the only way you could make it even worse is if you add Kid Anakin.
Obi-Wan's...
I actually like Count Dooku.
I don't mind Dooku.
I think Dooku's cool. I may be one of very few people who do. I feel like he's like dramatically underused, but he suffers the same sort of fate as Grievous, right? Because Grievous is like a super popular villain.
Yeah.
Amongst particularly the younger generation of fans, but he gets criminally disposed of.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Like, there's the CG series of Star Wars around on the Disney Channel, usually. They're actually really, really good. Go watch those.
Are they even canon anymore?
Those are about the only thing that are canon.
Yeah, that's the only thing they saved from the old expanded universe.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but for
Go
some
watch
reason
them.
that
They're
one got
great.
picked.
You get to see more Mac Rebo.
I've seen a few of them. They're okay.
Okay.
I think I've watched most of them.
Anyway,
Most of them.
game. We have a game. This is puzzling. So, the first Unravel, it was bright and cute and whimsy, and now look at this. We've got suddenly crippling depression and shipwreck.
I don't know how well the first one was executed. Was it good?
I don't know. It was cute and fun though, but I never really played it properly because it's got EA all over it. Never forget, never forgive.
You seem mad.
Just a bit. I treasure my salt.
Hi.
I felt that this went on painfully too long.
It did.
He talks a lot about his feels and the feels of the people who play it. Presumably he's not a mind reader, but
Yeah.
he seems to think he is.
So, yeah, he's up there talking about his feels. What I really like is that it's a very kind of neat-looking co-op platformer, which we haven't seen in a while.
I don't know, they look like ice climbers to me.
I think the best co-op platformer I ever played was Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck one on the Mega Drive.
On an adventure.
Mystery Castle or something, I can't remember what it's called. So long ago. But no one's really done it since then, properly.
It's a game.
Oh, you mean the little NES games where Mickey Mouse dressed up in costumes?
Yeah, that's that era.
Or the SNES, rather?
Oh, this one was on the Genesis.
I had some of those.
Together.
But yeah, that era.
Spirit of optimism and together.
Hold on. What countries was it called the Genesis in?
Everywhere that was the US, I believe. It was only the US. Everywhere else called it the Mega Drive.
Played in co-op with a friend, but there's always two characters there sharing one yarn. And we're
Some copyright or licensing issue or something it was.
This game...
Two characters sharing one yarn.
Yeah, they're joined at the umbilical cord, I guess.
It's sort of weird. Like, it's best not to think about it too much, I think.
Yeah, it leads to some really horrible places.
I brought some help. So please welcome Michael to the stage.
Like, look at that.
Yeah.
It's Whimsy. We remember
He finally
Whimsy.
got somebody else to say. Whatever you did at the office, I hope it was bad enough to deserve.
A little bit of what I'm talking about how
They remind me of Pikmin for some reason.
They look kind of like Pikmin.
But the thing is that Pikmin remind me of Pac-Man from Manly Guys Doing Manly Things.
Ugh.
So this wasn't.
Oh look, you broke your game already. Well done.
That was still in debug mode.
So when you're playing yourself, you can essentially pick up the other character and carry them.
So apparently stacking two models on top of each other so they glitch through each other like that is a feature now.
And we actually tried to include a bit more of
They should have. It would have been better if they just made him like really fat.
Bird!
'Cause he's got the other one wound all over him.
Yeah. Get him, Bird! Get him!
places that...
You're not supposed to be cheering for the villain.
I'm not cheering for a villain. I'm cheering for a bird. The villains are on stage.
And then when you get to the more puzzly areas like this, when you're...
I don't know. I haven't heard anything particularly negative about this franchise, so...
I haven't heard anything about it, period.
It's EA.
Since the last one came out.
That you're always working together.
Yeah.
This is like... We need them to show some games that are in our demographic so we can actually commentate on them.
These things are just... I don't know. That are...
So I guess
I don't know what the demo is for all of these incredibly twee indie titles.
I'm going to be the red one. Okay. You'll be the blue one.
So what? You've got to ravel the string around so it doesn't catch on the scenery?
Celebratory flip there.
I haven't seen anything which strongly implies anything other than independent platforming going on.
Yeah.
Like it looks like fake cooperation for the most part.
Mm-hmm. Get him, Bird! Get him! No.
That's how it always goes with this type of games, right? Either the co-op is basically mandatory, or might as well not be there.
Yeah.
Well, I mean... Magica.
That... I wouldn't call that co-op.
That isn't co-op. That's not co-op. Yes, when me and Fern both said it at the same time, I'm now convinced it's true.
Yeah. It's not competitive either, it's more like... I don't even know if there's a word for it. It's Magica.
Briefing the game.
Anarchy is the word for it.
There we go, that's a good word for it.
Okay, I'll go up and distract the grouse. I'll sneak up here.
This is not a very bright bird.
Okay, your turn.
Yeah, look at me.
Here you go.
Yeah, look at all that sneaking. You just ran right by him and he didn't care.
Yeah.
Chicken's just like,
look.
whatever.
Hey, glitch your bird out. Well done.
This keeps reminding me of like Fable, where you keep getting called Chicken Chaser.
Chicken Eater, depending on how you're playing that game.
Yeah, finally. Or can we?
Stupid bird. You fail me, bird.
So that's a quick little look at Unravel 2.
It looks really basic.
Yeah, that's my impression as well. I mean, it looks really pretty, but it doesn't look like the gameplay is much to write home about.
Yeah, and the pretty like Ori and the Blind Forest level to sell the game despite its shortcomings.
Completely amazing team effort and so many.
Well, do you think that that's what sold Ori and the Blind Forest?
That's what people tell me they bought it for mostly. That nobody tells me anything about the gameplay. They just tell me how pretty it is, and that's why they get it.
Thank you.
I mean, I can understand that, but
I mean, I don't have much data on that. It's just people I met, but. It's still the same game.
Yep, still the same game.
Oh, you aren't kidding. They go on for a while with this one.
Oh yeah, they've got to talk about it, and then they show the trailer.
Please tell me this isn't music.
I think you're supposed to find it moving or something.
Is this what the kids listen to now?
No, it's not. This is what some indie nerd decided needed to be the music.
We can indie too, because we're EA. And a moose.
Golly, I'm muting this. Screw this. Tell me when it's over. That is the definition of music I don't like.
It's because it's like music that's supposed to be sort of vaguely Disney-ish.
Hmm.
I guess.
And if you thought that they were trying to make good music, you got another thing coming, man. Like, this is a trailer. Trailers are supposed to accomplish one thing, which is evoking the purchase response.
Okay. Buy our crap.
Okay. Looks like it's over.
Yes.
It's clear that they have a lot of passion, and I can't personally wait to play Unravel 2 with my kids. But what's even more...
Play it with your kids. You can say it, and you're going to buy it yourself?
No, because you don't want to play it. Like, it's for kids.
Yeah.
Or people who fancy themselves to have a childish sense of wonder.
Isn't that all millennials? That seems to be one of their favorite things to say about themselves.
We started on this journey with you,
I don't know.
Unravel, to seek
they just haven't grown up.
independent developers and bring them into our EA Originals program.
Unlike us, who are man-children.
Oh, here we go. EA Originals.
Yeah. So this is the latest who is being fed through the grist mill.
Representing his team at Hazelight and A Way Out.
So I give it maybe 12 months before this studio is shuttered.
And you might even remember him from the Game Awards as well.
Because that's just what EA does.
Anyhow, in March that game caught fire. It's innovative, it's fun, and it's something fresh.
It caught fire, all right.
You all loved it.
Yeah.
Wait, did people play that?
In the first 2 weeks.
I
And
didn't
they?
even know.
Well, somebody had to play it to appreciate the protagonist's gigantic nose.
moving into a new studio. So stories like this drive our industry, and it's why we will continue to work with independent developers to help them realize their dreams. Which leads us to our next EA Originals title, from a little game studio in Berlin called Joe My Games. When I met this team and I saw the game, I was instantly drawn to how personal this story was. It's one that carries a very powerful...
Do you say instantly or innocently?
And it's
Instantly, I think.
Words are hard. So, this lady...
Oh, and here we go. This is another feels machine.
I feel sorry for this lady. She is tearing herself apart with nerves here.
Yeah, she's clearly not adequately prepared by people for this.
Yeah.
During the pitch
Sorry, lady, but you're going to be out of a job in 12 months.
afterwards, like our
When EA
Unlike
eats
last
your
lady.
studio.
super excited.
This one needs more makeup.
feels a little bit the same right now.
She's German.
I
I'm pretty excited. Maybe a little too excited.
Oh.
I'm just going to say it right now, by the way. This is a walking sim. Except you have a boat. So you're walking in a boat.
It looks distinctly like it's a walking sim. I didn't see anything that I would consider a game in the footage to come.
No.
Developing Sea of Solitude, or SOS as we call it. The whole journey from the very first concept.
Like, I have been that nervous in the past. And in that case, you should not be doing anything like this.
Let me tell you more.
Yeah.
It depends on whether they think that the nerves are charming.
When you get to
Unfortunately, I think they do.
She might have been the only one with breasts that could speak.
Is at the core of everything you will see, hear, and hopefully feel while playing SOS. What makes this underlying concept so important and so unique is that nearly every human being can at least somehow relate to or remember the feeling of being lonely. In my case, I started writing the story when I felt...
Yeah, this story description is just rather vague.
No, because I know how to make friends.
Don't make friends!
And putting it into your art.
I think you're just supposed to, like, sing Boyzone songs or something.
Seems to just
You're
float
lonely, but there's a sea monster. Go make friends with it.
into the hand and onto the paper. I think this is also why so many people can instantly connect with the game. Because
How does she know so many people can instantly connect?
Ah.
Like, this game's not out, is it?
No.
in SOS.
I don't think they even give a release date.
So the people that are connecting are the people who worked on it.
Yes.
Like, of course they're going to connect with it. It's their baby.
Those who struggle.
Like, honey, just because humans share the same emotions does not mean they're going to connect with your story.
Enjoy a fantastic experience can do so, but player who wants to look a bit deeper can reveal a whole emotional world.
EA, I don't like that we're just spending an hour and a half beating on you, but you gotta show us something good if you don't want that to happen.
What's the whole emotional world?
Let me skim through my notes here. No, they don't show anything good. Spoilers, I guess.
Do better next year, EA.
No, they'll do worse. Actually, there's something coming up that we are going to get good and angry about.
It's making this game just sound depressing. Like,
yeah,
there's a void.
Why would you play this? It would make you sad.
It's like this is like an animated version of Zoe Quinn's Depression Quest. Like,
that's sad for all the wrong reasons.
Even your destructive part or your self-doubt in the same way you
I still can't understand every other word she says.
She's German. And Americans are famous not for understanding anybody who doesn't speak American.
Yeah, I could understand her just fine.
Yeah, I can't do accents. not when they're that thick.
Yeah, see, sea monster, do not put your head in the water, because that's how sea monsters get you. Even one that's torn apart by feels.
The loneliness cuts me.
Also, why is she part bird?
Because reason.
No child of destiny, and no fortune son.
That one's full bird.
I've just chased you.
And that one's fish bird.
I'm too weak to run. A new day is here, but nothing is new. Alone in my room.
Yeah, see, this just looks walking sim. This is all walking sim.
I don't know. I feel like they're trying to do something Ico-ish, except they didn't show any puzzles.
Yeah, like if they put puzzles in, that would be fine. It's a basketball.
Here we go.
It's NBA. What can we really say about basketball?
Hoopsketball.
I noticed that there's no forced diversity here, and they're happy.
Oh, yes, there
with
is.
5% of the people being black.
Oh, there's a little bit of subtlety in there for it, but yeah.
Well, to be fair, what basketball is 95.
Yeah, well, I mean, the what is the military?
Nah.
Oh,
The military isn't 50-50.
Just remember, though, wherever you call home, whatever your...
So yeah, we can play basketball and accessorize with overpriced shoes.
Well, that's what basketball's about, isn't it? Selling shoes.
Overpriced shoes.
And this...
Yeah, don't play basketball with people on a random blacktop. If you accidentally step on their shoes during the game, they're going to royally rage out at you. This has happened to me every time.
It's because they paid too much for them.
They did. I get my shoes at Walmart.
What have we here? I think I zoned out during this bit the first time, right?
Like this guy, I just wanted to hunt him.
Right.
He's like an insufferable prick.
This is the bit I just put in my notes that says
nope. Lionizing.
For young Kiv, he's been stuck at the...
He is an esports player, and unfortunately that seems to be, the base model for them.
Yeah.
Because can we not do that and have them actually be good and relatable human beings instead of colossal douche nozzles?
I don't see what the motivation would be for that.
Way more getting people to actually watch esports.
You have somebody say, "I hate losing more than I love winning," and like, this is really your model?
Really?
The person who you're using as your front man? What is wrong with you? Like, as a company, there's something wrong.
Why would you watch... Oh, I suppose I can see the appeal of watching competitive Madden and things. It's like watching actual Madden and other competitive sports, except in the off-season. And with fake people.
Okay, baby, how you doing?
I've been good. You still recovering from that butt whooping?
This guy's pants.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
They're pretty horrible, huh?
Who thought... Why
Oh
did
my.
you think it would be a good idea to leave the house in those?
Well, I mean, he's a footballer.
Yes, but is
That's
he
standard.
completely blind?
This is standard dude bro attire.
Oh, please make it stop.
Young Kev,
Part of the dress code.
your success.
Yeah, football player explains the yellow shoes, but not the pants.
I've always been a competitor. When I was in high school, I was playing baseball. I hurt my
I'm sure you have with that tone.
and then at first, really bad. I was getting blown out online, but I kept at it. I put more and more time into it. Eventually, I made my first tournament, but I had a big decision. It was the same time as my graduation.
Wow. Okay. So the key to be the number one player in Madden is to hurt your arm in baseball. That's number one. Number two, you said
Oh, stop trying to act like you're real people.
or go to the
This guy's just such a twerp.
There you go. We're out here.
He can't actually be like that. He's got to be an actor.
Okay. Now,
Or at least acting the twerp.
past few years, how has it
No,
been?
I don't know. He's not He's not good enough at acting to be an actor.
Oh dear.
This is some amateur's idea of how to act natural while reading a script.
All those losses made me gain a lot of mental toughness.
Ah, so in other words, it's every EA presser ever.
That belt is so amazing. There's a lot
Pretty much.
on that belt for you. Well, today, EA Play, first look at the Madden 19 trailer. Super excited. It's going to be so fun. It's lit.
We both look smug.
Stay right here and talk to you guys forever. Well, I'm not going to board you guys. We're going to go out. I'm going to try to take this belt.
Look at this generic picture.
So, we're out. Have a good day.
We have a belt. It's a big belt.
It is a big belt.
Do you like our belt?
Worked your whole life to get to moments like these.
And people
No,
playing
I
football
haven't.
in slow motion.
Very top of the mountain.
No, I'm in my basement actually.
But you live near Stone Mountain.
Stop arguing with the narrator.
If you go up to the top of Stone Mountain,
You've been told. Legends
I don't want to do that. That's a pretty long walk.
Your phone
and there'll be people in white hoods up there.
Yep.
rise so that you can truly
Oh dear.
see that it was really never about reaching the end of the road at all. But about
What's going on with that guy's hand?
I can't help but feel American football just looks goofy.
They're running around in giant armor suits and, well, actually, yeah, bashing into each other is kind of goofy.
Well,
at least in Australian football, they tend to break things more often.
Yeah.
Namely faces. fact that some of our football players are that size without the padding is kind of worrying. Okay, I'm just going to go and hide because this is just horrendous.
Oh, right.
It's It's E3. What better place to present a mobile game?
We're gonna do this presentation.
This is tragic, though.
Yes, and it is probably the death of my childhood.
It's like watching your childhood march down on stage and shot.
Destroy the opponent.
Oh no.
Yeah, you might guess what this one is, Ari. We're not going to spoil it for you. See if you can figure it out.
The most efficient way.
Oh, I think you already told me. Oh no.
Oh no.
On a majority of the control points.
Kane didn't die for this.
No.
When the bar fills up, we'll fire the missile.
Apparently, Kane is back and he has a potato for a face now. But
Sounds great, Michael. Well, enough talking about it. Let's
why do this, EA? We want a new Command and Conquer that is not
matchup lined up for you.
EA, but
it was.
You do this, you ruin it. You've ruined everything.
Dudes, it literally used to be like one of your most popular franchises. This ain't hard. It's not like it's a hard tactics game to make.
But
make
cash
silly
money!
Units, get hammy actors.
For the red side of
Hammy actor, yeah, professional live streamer.
Please join me in welcoming to the stage Nick at Night.
But now we got professional RTS players who are told to sit down and play a game that has about the tactical depth of a teaspoon.
He's not a professional RTS player. He's a professional mobile game player.
Is that a thing? Why is that a thing?
I don't know.
Nope, I don't believe you.
Get this thing going.
I'm ready to go. Let's do it.
All right, let's kick this off. Nice little strategy game for those of you out there. It's a good genre. I'm very excited for this. The players are loading in, and we are ready to
the
kick.
match. Here we go.
I'm just going to sit here and weep quietly.
The players' bases have been deployed, and the action begins like any strategy game. Economy will be the focus.
No, it doesn't, because it's on a phone.
Nothing too crazy.
See, is it possible to have a good RTS experience on a phone? Like people have ported StarCraft over there and play it just fine. This is not RTS.
This is just so sad.
He's able to create a 2-on-1. Is he able to get there?
I have to laugh because if I don't, I'll cry.
I'm dying on the inside.
Going for the anti-infantry, and like any strategy game, the units that you're going to use when you deploy them will have a...
Why are you talking like they have to be quick with their actions?
They don't. Everything is kind of glacial.
There he is.
In control, placing the turret on the top right side to help cover that Rhino as
like
towards the northwest.
This is as engaging as Clash Royale.
Clash Royale is at least goofy.
Objective on the map is to hold those controls.
Is that the one with Mr. T in it?
That's the one.
Yeah.
Right side of the match.
He's done a great job of holding that down with the turret, and now he's...
This is not goofy, though. This is just destroying my childhood.
Economy ramps up, of course. We're seeing bigger and more powerful units come out. We have there the drill pod coming in the left side.
I mean, come on. At least say Tim Curry is doing voice work for it. Please.
That's going to be used to try and help push back these smaller forces as he makes his way to the south side. That missile passing halfway now.
Oh,
Both
there it is.
two zones in control of Nick at Night. He will have the missiles. We see it starts to point towards In Control's base.
Let's see if In Control can get around to that top corner, able to hold that missile. He does contest the missile, putting it into the yellow position.
I give up.
Professional shoutcasters. They try to pretend like they have a job.
That's not a thing. It could be a thing if they're any good at it.
Very, very close to firing. Let's see what's going to happen.
With another turret, In Control flanks. He takes the top. That missile.
I'm just being extra angry today because they're destroying a franchise I love.
One shot away from being knocked out.
Everybody loves at least one Command and Conquer game.
Past tense.
The last time that they destroyed this franchise, you just pretended that it never happened.
Yeah, so they came back to remind us, the jerks.
Move up towards that north position. Those harvesters, of course, very crucial. Very
Man, like everybody that was alive in Command and Conquer's heyday has at least one game they like. Red Alert 2, General something.
But In Control, just spreading his forces.
This ain't hard, EA. You'd make money.
Nick at Night is trying to get in there.
I liked I liked Generals. You got to blow up Kebab.
Just ripping through against infantry.
You got to blow up everything in Generals.
Moving his tank towards this
Another
round.
drill pod we're seeing with some flame tanks.
Yeah, bring in the flank. Of course, those flame guys do amazing damage to the infantry. Help to clean that out. Meanwhile, 2 more tanks coming out from Nick at Night.
This is also incredibly boring to watch.
Yeah, like, this stuff goes so slow.
Trying to scout out and see what you're...
Like, look at that Warthog wannabe and how long it took to get from the base to whatever he sent it to.
Thinking about harassing those harvesters, coming around the far side for those rhinos. Looks like he's really pressing it.
And when you see that...
It looks like he's really pressing it. Because it's so action-packed.
Yes.
Looking to set...
I think you got the wrong genre game commentators here, dudes.
Just 1 or 2 units. He wants to move all of them together.
Like StarCraft players who want to get a nice high actions per minute count, so they just keep clicking the same thing over and over again.
Gonna rip and this watch out for this missile.
And Nick and
there
Night
it goes.
fire that one off. And
Have you watched professional StarCraft? It's dumb. You watch people, they'll issue a move order maybe 6 times
control the Wolverines, as you pointed out.
for no gain.
Deal with these forces, but Nick at Night's...
I don't imagine with all the inputs they have to make, they get a little twitchy.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's just nervous tick.
I'm suspecting that's what it is.
He's gonna do some serious damage.
That missile just past halfway ready.
I mean, you wouldn't want to think that you gave an instruction and didn't, and then end up losing because of it.
Got a lot of range, that big boy.
Yeah.
In control just needs...
I don't know how accurate the input reading is in StarCraft.
I've never had a problem with it.
Where's it gonna go?
It might be a mashy thing.
Of course the GDI wins because they're good guys, sort of.
Legit.
Oh wait, no.
Well, in the trailer, it looked like Nod was winning.
That was awesome. Any thoughts, guys?
Except they're not GDI and Nod because that implies that it's a much better game.
Absolutely. That was awesome. We saw a little bit.
You mad, brah?
Very. Have my salty, eh?
I mean,
And now it's,
Tiberium Wars wasn't the greatest game ever, but I'll take it.
it was actually, well, compared to their latest offerings, it was pretty good.
Rivals.
It's pretty dang good compared to everything they got coming out right now.
We're giving players complete, continuous control of their armies in quick, competitive head-to-head matches.
Oh yeah, that looks real quick, buddy.
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure that the amount of times I touch my screen in terms of rate is roughly the same in FGO.
Command and Conquer Rivals. The studio has been having an absolute blast playing this.
More in FGO because you want to touch your waifu.
Please let us know what you think. Thank you.
Yeah, they furiously attack here he mate all the time, and it makes me mad, and I hammer the screen a lot. But I think that the AI has a thing against berserkers.
It does. It really does.
Lady, in
So-
whatever post-apocalyptic world you're in, where'd you get that coat that's so tailor-fit for you?
Nod, like, the bad guys always have the best tailors.
Yeah, that's true. Nod has always been incredibly stylish. Like, what's the point of conquering the world if you can't look good doing it?
Yeah, even Hitler hired Hugo Boss, I mean.
Exactly. Meanwhile, though, they're somehow controlling the entire battlefield from their tablets or wrist thingy.
Oh, that face she just made. Never make that face again.
Yeah, that was definitely mocapped.
I am going to ruin your everything. It's Potato! What did you do to Kane?
Life factors. This is terrible.
Command and Conquer for a new generation.
Kane is supposed to be dead.
Yeah, but that guy looks so, fresh-faced and not Kane-like that maybe he's a Kane clone.
He's been cloned like 4 times now or something, so it could be.
There were a lot of those. By the way, we're just going to talk over this nonsense here right now.
I'm not even sure what he's talking about.
You don't want to... Well, actually, you do. It's everyone's favourite game. It's virtual signaling.
And so, as you look at the 10 experiences that you're going to see,
Oh, right.
play games.
So, fun fact, in Australia, in order to qualify as a charity, you only need to donate 5% of your income to an actual charitable... to the target of the charity.
What you play, when you play, and what device.
Yeah, most of that cut out, so I didn't really hear what you said.
Yeah. A charity does not need to really donate much of their actual income to their cause.
Or disadvantage.
The rest can be eaten up by bureaucracy and fat paychecks.
That for every moment that you invest.
Sounds pretty standard.
Yeah, which is why I'm always very skeptical of these sorts of charities he's talking about donating to. supporting.
Well, the ones that he's picking are like the worst kind of that. Like they're less accountable than even like the old giants.
Yeah.
Enhance your lives.
And one of them's backed by the UN, which means it's completely useless.
Through all the things that we're trying to do, know that we want to be better and that we want to make great games. And
You're not showing that to us, buddy. You want to be better?
as much as you love playing them,
You say you want to be better, and then you just showed us that you peed all over our childhoods.
Yeah.
is profound.
The salt is real.
Totally real.
Third year of our Play to Give program, where we show the world how the power of play can be a positive force for social impact. Millions of you out there participate.
There's a bit more pressing issues than social impact, buddy.
They have no impact.
Support of Play to Give. And to celebrate
They're
that,
just throwing money into a money black hole.
$1 million to
Well, it's not so much a black hole from their point of view because it gives them credibility with the people that they want credibility with.
And equality
Like,
are not something
I would think you need to fix the basic needs most people need in the countries you're going to be sending this money to before they'll care about the video games.
They're sending this money to Anita Sarkeesian. They're not sending it to another country.
Bullying Prevention Center and ditch the
Oh, this crap.
Yep, this crap.
All are doing great work, and we're proud to support them through Play to Give. And thank you for your...
Yeah, you want me to fix your bullying problem right here, right now, for the whole world? It's real easy. All you gotta do is let the kid that's being beat up fight back and don't punish him.
Yeah, okay.
Ta-da! Bullying solved.
Now let's take a look at Anthem.
So we're finally getting to what they view as their headliner for the season.
It's Anthem.
And left our world.
This game looks scary.
So what?
Game looks like Destiny.
It does.
Yeah.
And what amuses me is they say we are making all these brand new systems that will bring this game into the forefront, but these are systems that MMOs have been using for years.
Yeah,
Later on when they go and discussing the writing stuff, is like you're talking about basically doing a worse version of Final Fantasy 14 here.
Yeah, like your home base is only visible to you because that's caused an instance that's been around for about 20 years.
Something is out there. It wants to destroy us all.
Uh-huh.
It's pretty. At least it's pretty.
It's like, this thing's out here, it's gonna kill us all, like every trailer ever, in every big budget movie.
Hey, at least it's not fake gameplay this time. That was so cringy. Ugh. So is Anthem the bad guy?
I don't know.
No, Anthem's like an additional physical force that they have on their planet.
Oh, right. So, nonsensium.
As I understand it, their whatever they worshipped as gods used something called Anthem to basically terraform the planet, and then they left, and they didn't take the Anthem with them, so it just makes things go nuts.
They seem like very inefficient gods.
How cool was that trailer?
Oh no, she's back.
Seen it a couple times. Cool every time I see it.
Wow, that did horrible things to levels.
Because we're all Bioware.
She's just so squealy.
A little bit different for the rest of the show, and we're going to take a deep dive into Anthem. So I'm going to bring out some members of the Bioware team to chat with us. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm
She definitely picked the valley rather than the sea.
Sarah and Kathleen Rutzar.
That she did.
Let's do a panel.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for coming out today. Just got a little game to show, right?
Yep.
It's going to be very exciting. So, Casey, we're going to go ahead and just jump right in and get started with you. So now we know that you all...
All right, squealy lady. If your hair was a natural color, you might actually look okay.
Took a couple years.
But no, you got that ugly, unnatural red.
You seem to be overly hooked up on people's looks today.
Well, they don't have anything interesting to say.
You have a very good point there.
Games for BioWare fans, you know, we have the best fans, so it's been super.
You have fans still?
Yeah, I guess the ones that are left are your best friends.
And that's kind of where it started with.
Those diehards that will support them through no matter what.
What is the evolution of a BioWare game?
And then people must have really liked KOTOR.
For people to discuss.
I liked KOTOR and I'm not supporting them.
World of story and character.
I really
like
liked
the super
KOTOR.
fans.
Making living world, a game that would change every time you came back and played it. We also wanted to do something where
This is a blueprint.
wanted to invite your friends into it, then you could do that.
You could tell because it's blue.
The initial vision of the game, not an MMO, not a multiplayer game with story sort of bolted on this side, but something new and different, and I think the team has really captured that vision over the years.
Your fan.
I'm going to hold you to this and then laugh at you when you're wrong.
But we're kind of curious how you're planning to make story work in this shared world.
So a great story for BioWare is really about characters that you can have a connection with, choices you get to make.
Oh, that's so generic.
Choices you get to make. Like what color you like.
Because you're mixing multiplayer and storytelling into the same areas. Now you can build a solution.
You want the red ending? Or the green ending? Or maybe the blue ending?
With Anthem. So what we call
Pick your ice cream flavor.
So when you're out in the open world, the world is really dangerous and you're focused on your mission. And this is where other players get to play with you. The thing that's really interesting about this, it's unique for Anthem, is that this is a living shared world. So whether there's weather or it's nighttime, what we're experiencing together. Everyone that's playing Anthem at a moment is seeing the same thing.
You just described Monster Hunter World's matchmaking system, or semi-matchmaking system.
Yeah, grouping system.
But then when I finish my mission, I come back to a base like Fort Tarsus.
They do live in bubbles. Keep that in mind.
I turn in my rewards, I talk to some characters, I experience the choices of my action. And this is where your story really lives and breathes.
Oh, we're using footage already.
The simple fact that everybody is occupying the same game means your choices don't impact the world.
Yeah. Outside of your home base, that world is static.
Designing it so that we can add story for years to come.
Them missions are all going to be the same for everybody.
When from our community is they want to continue to play in our worlds when they've finished Mass Effect or Dragon Age. Players want
We would like to play it all, but you know Andromeda happened.
in a way that we can actually add more story for years to come, and it could be anything. A new moment with a character.
Awfully optimistic there, ain't you?
An event in the
Well, the shareholders might be listening.
or an entirely new storyline and plot.
Well, I'm certainly not going to complain about more story.
They're probably the only ones along with us.
So, Kathleen, I wanted to ask you.
To say we're listening is probably being generous.
Can you speak to what it's like?
Well, saying they're listening, even if it's true, doesn't mean they're going to do anything about it.
Well, what's really exciting for us, and not just the writers, but all of the devs, the designers, the artists, is that we're creating something new and mysterious for players to discover. So at the heart of the premise of Anthem is a world left unfinished by the gods. But the gods left behind their massive tools, and those tools are in constant conflict.
We saw Iron Man and thought his suit was cool, so we made a game around it.
Yeah, like that's really transparent. That's like it's like Mists of Pandaria and Kung Fu Panda. Like, there's no way that they didn't just draw directly from something that was popular.
You need to wear a suit of powered armor, a javelin.
Somebody saw the movie for the first time and was like, "That was a good movie. Let's make that."
Don't stop to think about. It's just
The actual Iron Man movies were dreadful, by the way.
intellectual.
I liked
The games, sorry, not the movies. Yeah, games, not
the first movie
movies.
was pretty dang good.
The movies are
I liked
great.
the first-
Yeah, movies great, games bad.
Well,
Get my words right.
third one, not so much.
I can words good.
A few times at BioWare.
Yeah, third one was kind of dumb.
Really, the hardest part is getting started, just kind of getting off the blank page. So what we try to do is we think about the new experiences that we're trying to unlock for players. So, like, what is the fantasy fulfillment? What are the new things you actually get to go and do that are different from what you've played before? So,
Nothing that you've said so far.
once we think about those things, you know, that's the power of creating new IP, especially for games, is that you actually get to build a whole fictional universe that's meant to bring out a certain experience. And then once we do that, then we kind of...
This is so boilerplate.
The stuff, and what
Like,
unlocks us creatively is to think about...
when you create a new IP, you can make a new world.
Technology.
It's another case of them effectively saying nothing.
Oh, yeah.
Build out every last detail.
Yeah, and one of the unique challenges...
Buzzword. Hip term, phrase.
An experience that's meant to feel alive, like it's happening right now.
It's meant to feel alive. Let's count the cliche phrases.
Whether the...
I give it a week after launch, and TV Tropes will have it all meshed out.
Outside of, like, you know, dystopian settings, like, when does anybody say, oh, we want our setting to feel dead?
The world for everyone. That could be anything from gameplay to lore.
But even then, like,
pretty sure
a dead world will have life in it.
Sound really cool.
At least from a development perspective.
But even though there's...
That's boring otherwise.
It really all comes back to your character.
Not a tagline I would use for a multiplayer game either.
Crazy beasts.
So you are a freelancer, uniquely skilled to pilot these Javelin exosuits. And you need those suits to survive and fight in this world, because the world will kill you. But on top of that, our ancient rivals have they've discovered a way they think.
Well, that's a super.
Could you I was gonna say, can you give them a more boring name?
Stop them and protect the free people of Tarsus.
Now, I've heard you call this power armor a couple different things. Is it a suit?
Man, and I thought calling my superhero organization in my tabletop game Cape was generic.
And there are 4.
Yeah, that's pretty generic.
Each have unique abilities.
Downright artsy compared to Dominion.
I think that it's generic in the way, like, City of Heroes had generic stuff. Like, it was generic because you knew what baggage it carried with it.
I love their suits descriptions here. Let's call them by better names. How about this? Ranger, Tank, Caster, Melee DPS.
Based on the mission you want to engage it, or the javelins that your friends are using.
Yeah, you can roll swap. You could have said that in a sentence.
To do is, we've built the suits to look...
Yeah, but remember the woman interviewing them doesn't appear to know anything about video games.
The Ranger now. The Ranger is a more generalized suit, able to do a lot of different things, really designed for up-close and personal combat, one-on-one for the most part.
All right, so it's Deeps.
This is heavier, more special.
It's Deeps.
But able to really pack in big weapons that let them devastate the battlefield.
All right, so it's a tank.
It's heavy. I am a heavy weapons guy.
I was going to say, the Storm looks like it's going to be my favorite. I'm sure you guys out there are picking your faves right now, too.
They seem to lack a cleric, but that's about
the one
it.
that you didn't say anything about.
So Casey tweeted...
But she knows. She knows it's her favorite.
People out there questions. And
Could you be more generic, gamer girl? You had to pick the caster.
As a player who is all about making their character their own, what kind of customization options will be available in Anthem?
Yeah, so we really want players to express themselves, both through customizing the way their Javelin plays, through gear.
Every part of that armor better be customizable for as much time you spend on this game.
Well, the paint scheme certainly does seem to be.
As well as changing the actual geometry of the suit itself.
I bet you half of it's behind the paywall.
I bet you it is.
For a long period of time, we really want you to be able to make it your own.
I'm glad you brought that up, because actually, Jay Legato has a question connected to customization. Monetization. How, when, loot box?
The important question.
Yeah, so we are going to have some cosmetics and vanity items that you'll be able to purchase, but you're always going to know what you're going to buy before you spend any money on it. So no loot box.
We're not doing loot boxes again, guys. We promise.
See, it's worrying when that actually becomes a selling point.
Advantage at all within Anthem. But even more important, than that, I want to make sure that Anthem is an immersive experience that feels like it's...
I like going into this blind and not knowing what they're going to say.
Main story, a big open world, service.
Like, can you imagine? Like, the thing is, I didn't feel like I could rule out them saying that there would be loot boxes.
No, I didn't either.
Because that EA.
I figured they kind of come at it kind of sideways and say it's a random reward system for money.
Wail about how it's totally optional, guys. Totally optional.
Totally optional. Nobody believes that.
Together of different classes. So, I think here we're going to see the
I've yet to hear the words cosmetic only.
people on the ground in gameplay. If we can have a look at that. So heavy artillery.
I don't want to talk about how you're hammering anything, dude.
Combat, and then here
That's worrying.
Shooting down from above, and then they're using combos and special abilities and stuff like that. But what I love is
You and I have a very different idea what a combo is.
So it's interesting.
I think that by combo he means any two things done close together.
Things getting caught in the same explosion.
So Anthem's really built around trying to combine the...
I'm not sure these people actually exist.
...story with the fun of playing with other players. But we really want to make sure that that playing with other people feels like a choice. So for people that
look at all them dev bots.
You're going to be able to do that. Now, going out into an open world like this by yourself is going to be a little bit more challenging than...
You keep talking about this story, but you haven't said anything about it other than there are gods, and there are things they made.
And they were kind of dumb about it.
if they took their hand now, everybody will know that it's a story they cribbed directly out of Destiny or something.
But it's just going to be a little bit more difficult. Well, I know you all are on the edges of your seats. How about we show a little game?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? You guys
It sounds a lot like what they mean to say is that this game is absolutely ridiculously easy if you're playing it with a group.
You and your friends have decided to play a mission called Scars and Villainy. The Scars have put together an acid-based super weapon, so you got to take them out. So
You're another lady that needs more makeup.
which is like a giant
You are bored.
forward base of operations. You have a conversation with your crew, Halleck.
The mission she's talking about is called Scars of Villainy, dude.
Scars of Villainy, man.
Enough said.
Get into your javelin suit and you head out with your friends.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Mark,
It's dark like my soul.
for talking to me about Anthem.
Crawling in my skin.
Go ahead and roll the gameplay now. Enjoy, everybody.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, it's a robot dinosaur. Hang on a minute. We've seen that before.
Freelancer, time to get to work. Faye said these bastards made some kind
I never want to say Ashley Birch did something better, but if I have to say she did Robot Dinosaurs better, I'm going to be mad. I don't care which I'm comparing it to.
To be fair, that game did robot dinosaurs really, really good. It's just it includes Ashley Birch, and its story has a conclusion that renders the entire thing redundant.
If
Spoilers.
If it was only the Robot Dinosaurs, I'd be okay. If it was any other girl besides Ashley Birch.
Aloy herself is just bland.
And whoever did that model that looks like a piece of cardboard.
A lot of the characters in that game look like cardboard.
The Protag's face in that game, though.
Loads of scars nearby. Take a look around the area, but
Just makes the movement feel really clunky and heavy, just from what I'm watching here.
The player is using the super clunky heavy suit.
Yeah,
So,
I'd be more worried if it
Okay.
didn't.
yeah, if it was walking naturally, that would be really strange.
Yeah.
Okay, because
So that's okay. That's one thing we cannot hate on.
Right. Well, I mean, usually they get the mocap right in these games.
Yeah, they got the budget, dude.
Usually. Yeah.
So, and the turrets.
Don't worry, give it a few minutes, we'll find something to hate on.
Well, it would be nice if we didn't.
I know. There we go.
But I don't-
Robot
I'm not holding
Bigfoot.
any.
it looks generic, but it looks okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. It doesn't have the stealth capabilities of a Fel Reaver.
Honk,
Few
squish.
things do.
That is not how you minefield.
It is if you're the tank.
Eh.
Like, have you never heard the phrase backup trap handler?
Fair call.
Something's odd. Get a closer look, would you? See those radiant pieces of energy? They're echoes from the Anthem of Creation. Loads
You
of...
said that line really fast, dude. I don't like that guy's delivery.
We're running out of time, so we gotta hurry up.
Did
Yeah.
it just shout combo?
Return them to the relic.
What is this, Killer Instinct?
gone silent. Disaster averted. Do you think we get a bonus for... Wait, something's happening.
What the hell was that?
I think that was whatever laid all the eggs around here. The sound came from below your position. On the plus side, this definitely counts toward hazard pay. There's a trail of this acid gunk leading down. Follow it, and we should find the source.
Post-apocalypse has hazard pay?
Well, they do have a society of some kind.
Is this an apocalypse, or is they just on an alien planet?
No, it's not an apocalypse. It's just the world has gradually gone to pot, sort of thing.
Fair enough.
I think that's the case anyway.
Yeah, it seems that way. It's a giant enemy crab thing.
It's a bug of
It's
some
a giant
description.
worm.
Blah! Trailer over.
Okay.
That was super generic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's a giant worm.
About the only compliment I can force, and I have to stretch really hard to give it, is the air movement looked okay.
Well,
but I don't know how much of that was pre-canned and pre-path.
From the gameplay they showed, it doesn't look anything particularly offensive. It's just nothing particularly new either.
It's like, why are you going to invest yourself in this? What is this thing's selling point? Why not, go play some free-to-play thing like that?
Everybody, fire up your
What's that thing where you have suits and...
Warframe?
Yeah, Warframe.
Warframe has a
Warframe.
unique hook. It's Space Ninjas. I mean, come on, Space Ninjas.
Yeah, I know. So why not play that?
Yeah.
Yeah, just... If this is also their best foot forward and it's that generic, I'm scared of what the actual game looks like.
It's like, it's more like, if this is what is left of the games industry's capacity to create new IPs, that does not bode well.
No.
But you guys, EA has so much available right now. Now, for those of you
No, you don't.
you can get your free trial of FIFA 18's World Cup today. And Andrew told us about the free trial of Origin Access. Yarny is back with a buddy in Unravel 2, which is also available.
Okay, look here, honey, bunches of oats.
Uh-oh.
Your friends in Command.
Nobody cares. All the shit you sold is terrible. Oh, dropped an S-bomb. At the very end.
Why would you? Well, it's not the first time it's happened since we moved over.
Into the fan fest. I get it. So, I want to let you guys
well.
keep your streams going because
It's been forever since any of us dropped one.
It's not that we
I
want to
dropped one
hate.
a few weeks back.
Yeah,
I
you
didn't
did.
point it out.
Yeah, I noticed. I noticed all.
coming down to EA Play today and watching the press conference.
It's not that we want to hate you, EA. It's just that we hate you.
You make it so easy.
Your job is to make good video games. A, you didn't hit our demographic, and B, these don't look interesting at all. And B, I mean, did I get my letters wrong?
Hey and
I wasn't
hey.
paying attention to what I was saying.
It's a capital A and a little A. It works.
I mean, I don't really have a genre to hit other than like Neptunia. And
I have
Russo games.
As long as it looks fun, that's the thing for me. And
I would play a military simulation shooter if it was Fate themed. Like,
oh, good grief, no. Although pulling servants out of World War II could be interesting. Completely impractical and against all the rules, but it could happen.
no, there are a few. Like, servants from recent memory tend to be relatively weak, but on average there are exceptions, like Tesla, because practically everything people believe about Tesla is a fable. So,
Yeah, Tesla basically boils down to someone running around screaming, "I want credit."
like, you could get the White Death as archer or assassin.
Ooh,
for
yeah,
instance.
that's a good choice. Anyway, so
he
that's
he must have crazy presence concealment.
so yeah, that happened.
Yep.
Was
I
a
hope
thing.
this isn't going to be setting the tone for the rest of the.
I really hope. I hope that this E3 it started weak. I hope it does not mean to go on as it started.
Yeah, because
Like-
it's really, this doesn't bode well by any standard.
No.
Like what are they showing that is going to make waves? I didn't see any killer app there. They think Anthem is it.
And they think Anthem is it, but it's really not. It's just kind of
Yeah.
Like we saw
Do either
Jesse,
of y'all know-
and it wasn't very good.
Yeah. Do either of y'all know anybody excited for Anthem?
No,
No.
absolutely not.
No.
I think most
No.
people have forgotten it exists because it blurs together with Destiny. That's pretty much what people have been saying about it much earlier on, and a lot of people wrote it off because of the fact that Destiny's latest entry has been mediocre to bad.
Yeah. So, tomorrow...
Well, that may not be fair, but that's the way it is.
Yeah, that's just the way people tend to think. So, tomorrow we have Microsoft and Bethesda. Which...
Bethesda's going to be a dumpster fire, I expect.
I would be very disappointed if I don't get some really good ironic enjoyment out of Bethesda. Let me see. They broadcast at 11:30 a.m. here and 6 a.m. here for Bethesda and then Microsoft. So we could try this again. I mean, that seemed to work all right. Nothing's on fire.
We'll have to wait and see what the final product comes out like, but see if there's some level adjustments or something we could do. But yeah, I think it worked okay.
Yeah,
we'll see how we feel about the other press conferences.
Yeah,
hopefully there's enough stuff in the next one that we're interested in, where I don't have to do fashion commentary.
Yeah, and let's just hope they don't destroy another beloved franchise.
You seem salty.
Just very, very disappointed. Why would you do this? The last time they ruined things this bad, we had Dungeon Keeper Mobile. I mean, come on.
This is EA's bailiwick. Like, this is what they do.
Yeah. So we have that poor lady up there who's nervous as all get out. I don't think she's nervous because she's speaking on EA's behalf. I think she's nervous because her studio's about to get shuttered.
I don't know. But, yeah, her game was not exciting. I'm sorry. But we didn't get shown a game. And that seems to be the problem with a lot of stuff lately.
So,
So it doesn't look like a game.
I know this is probably throwing out a hook without bait on it, but was there anything you guys saw particularly interesting in that conference?
Yeah, I was going to say, was there a highlight of the show?
That guy's pants. That's it.
Like cringe. I didn't like anything about that, and it was a lot of it too cringy.
It was really bad.
The guy that they got to do the Battlefront stuff, I don't think I have ever seen anybody who looked less suitable to be on stage anywhere, ever.
Even previous E3s?
He
was worse than No
done
Man's
zero
Sky.
grooming, and he was wearing a horrible flannel shirt. Like, he was generally not suited for his job.
We are going to find someone who is suitable to present the image that we want to present about this game, and that is someone who seems to have slept at the bottom of a dumpster for a week.
Like, if what they were trying to project, and it's entirely possible that they were, was like hobo hipster, well, they did a great job.
Aren't all the millennials dressing that way now?
Hipster. Huh?
I think that's millennial fashion these days. Get off my lawn!
Oh.
So, I think that's it for the show, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, we'll figure out, I guess, if we're going to do this next time or how we're going to do it, because there'll be a lot of pressers if we try to do them all.
Oh, we'd have to spread it out over a few days.
Yeah, it would. We'll see what we can do.
This coming week is audit week for me, so work is going to be intense. I don't know if I'm
Town show.
Yeah, you've got the show.
It's Drunk Counties, the best people in the world.
Dear. This week is my
what you're saying sort of implies that carnies are ever sober.
Yeah, but usually it's not alcohol.
Oh dear. But yes. So yeah.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot to say. That whole presser was just a dumpster fire.
Yeah,
hopefully the next one will be
better.
better.
That they thought that they were, putting their best foot forward there.
Yeah, so E3 proper kicks off with Microsoft tomorrow, so I don't think it's going to get better because Microsoft is always terrible at making their presentations.
Yeah, this is going to be another one of those times where Sony are basically rubbing their hands together by the time they get to the end of E3.
Well, more or less, all that Sony needs to do is just all they have done in the past few years is they just show up and say, "Here's a game, here's a game, here's a game." Microsoft gets up and says, "Buzzword, buzzword, buzzword, maybe a game, buzzword, buzzword, buzzword."
TV spirits.
TV Spurs.
Yeah. Oh dear. Well, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
And yeah, if anybody actually watches this, tell us what you think.
Please do.
So we'll see. Email topic of the week is E3. So closing comments go, and I'll sign us up.
I'm disappointed so far, and I'm probably expect to keep going that way.
I don't know when Yeah.
Although
I've gained 6 levels on Elizabeth and Fate Extella. That's been a product of this press conference.
It's actually amazing. I had low expectations of EA's presser, and they somehow managed to really disappoint me. Still.
You know, it's nice. They gave me a chance to catch my strength up because the RNG didn't let me level it up in Strange Journey. I guess thank you for that, EA. I can now almost do damage.
It's just, it's
just,
There's no, their killer app was not killer. That's the thing. That's the take-home message here.
Yeah. So, I have played Cross Deck Battle and I have a bunch of stuff I want to talk about with some other games, but I don't know when I'll get to it. So I'll get back to y'all on whether you should buy all the new games that have come out and stuff. Eventually, there's a good few of them I promised I would talk about, but it'll probably be a bit. We got to get through E3.
Yes.
So yes, I think that's it. We will see y'all next week. Sayonara, bye bye.